ladies and gentlemen, the second debut of the Simon Feck and the Ashe show, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the maiden voyage. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to have a couple special guests, ladies and gentlemen. When we got ready to start this stream, I didn't know we were going to have special guests. Guess what? Right at the last minute, couple special guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your co-host. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ashe. For some reason, I can't hear anything, ladies and gentlemen. Is this a technical difficulty? Or is Ashe not here, ladies and gentlemen? I guess Ashe isn't here, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like he fell asleep. Let's put the link in the... right down here, ladies and gentlemen. Put the link in. Maybe we won't put the link in. I see we got one person in the chat. Today is the debut, the second debut of the Simon Feck and the Ashe show, ladies and gentlemen. Got a couple special guests for you. Going to be talking about a big guest that we have coming on next week. And we're going to have a couple special rock stars. Some big rock stars coming on the show. We're starting to have guests. First time. We've been putting out some videos. And now we're going to move into the interviews, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Let's take this guy out because I don't hear him talking. Ladies and gentlemen, our co-host, the second half of the Simon Feck and the Ashe show. Doesn't appear that we have an Ashe, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here? Whoop Feck. What's up, Feck? Mr. Western, excuse me. Mr. Western, am I saying it right? Yeah. Mr. Western Mass Climber, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Good to see you again, buddy. That's right. So here's what we got right here, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the Simon Feck co-host, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. There he is. What do you got, Ashe? Ashe has nothing, ladies and gentlemen. When you start a show, especially the second debut, you think that the second half of the show would be there, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to put the link in here, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be one of those ladies and gentlemen nights. What do we got? Get ready to put the link in here. What's up with the voice thing? It's like two voices at the same time. Thank you. Hold on a second. 1 second. I appreciate that. It's not echoing now, is it? Son of a gun. Let's see if we got our buddy in here. Hey, Ashe, are you there? Looks like Ashe fell asleep, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the... This is too difficult, ladies and gentlemen. So we are looking for a co-host, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start doing interviews. I don't know if you know it here, but Simon Feck right here. Simon Feck knows a whole bunch of people, a bunch of fighters, ladies and gentlemen. On another channel, I interview fighters, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see the Ashe there, ladies and gentlemen. Miserable to listen to, but I want to give this channel a shot. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. We still got the echo? No, it's like I can hear your regular voice, but at the same time, you're talking through a feckin' can into my ear. Huh. Son of a. It's always something, ladies and gentlemen. Always something. Damn. That's why this is sort of like a little trial run, right? And I appreciate you, Western. I was gonna have my buddy Ashe help me out. And yet, there's no Ashe in here. I thought he was going to be talking to me, letting me know where to place the mics, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. People in, people out, ladies and gentlemen. So anyways, today we were talking with Commission Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Going to have them on. We're going to do a little collab, ladies and gentlemen, with the Commission Radio with Mr. Dennis himself. And we're going to be intertwining fighters and interviews. And I'm going to have a different character. The other character, his name is Stu Pitt, ladies and gentlemen, with the regular voice. So, are you there, Ashe? No. I think I hear something. I hear some banging like somebody came in the front door, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Can you hear yourself? Play back your audio. Yeah. Shit, man, he says. Very good.
Shit.
I guess it is shit. I got a good friend in here, Western Mass Climber, is in here telling me that it's shit.
Why is it shit?
I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it's not now. I don't know.
People
but the
forget,
one thing
man.
Is, huh?
People forget, man.
People forget, man. That's right, man. People forget. People forget that Simon Feck can't actually, put his real voice out there because he'll lose his job at the Apex, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, people keep saying, you'll get better, you'll get more views, you'll get more famous or whatever they say. Things will be better if you get rid of that voice changer. And, maybe the whole point of this whole channel is not actually getting views. Maybe it's getting the point across. And let me tell you something, Ashe. Okay? So the point is getting across. I have a bigger channel somewhere else. Now that channel does all the same stuff that everybody else does. This channel here, if I wanted more views, now it's me and you, Ashe, but if we wanted more views, we would not be doing stories on media people. We wouldn't be doing stories on. We would be doing stories on the big names. So nobody has mentioned that yet. Hey, maybe you need to stop doing these stupid stories and do stories on big names. That's another key. They keep focusing on the voice. The thing with the voice is they don't understand. I get all this inside information. I can't be found out. How you doing, Ashe? Did you fall asleep?
People forget, man. No, I'm here.
People forget.
People forget, man.
That's right. Yeah, so I just got off the phone with the man
with the
from
Colonel.
Excuse me?
The Colonel, the KFC man.
Okay, so also I hang out with in the BKFC, and then I got this whole skit. It was one of the very first things that I wrote out, and I haven't done it yet. A skit about BKFC and KFC together, and I'm a chicken, right? So maybe like it was probably about 4 or 5 days ago. I looked into like buying the bucket. Like the 28-piece chicken bucket or whatever that. You know that guitar player, Buckethead, that wears it on his head?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Buckethead.
Yeah, Bucketheads, right? Okay, so that's one thing, right? So I don't know if I really want to go over the story now, but okay, so here it goes. All right. So let's see here. What were we talking about? Submission. I know one thing. It just led right into it.
KFC Buckethead.
Yeah. So, anyways, so the submission radio, right?
Yeah.
So submission radio. I figured that would be a good outlet. So, went and reached out to Dennis at Submission Radio. And Dennis says that he's down to do the Simon Feck show. Now I type as Simon Feck over and over again in his live streams. He tolerates Simon Feck in his live streams. Then I put an alt in there. And the only reason I have alts at the beginning, I didn't understand why people used alts, but I used it so I could look at that from the outside into the Simon Feck channel. So, but I go on there with an alt, and I start doing the same stuff I was doing with the Simon Feck thing, and it kicked me out or timed me out or whatever. So I was like, well, this guy's familiar with Simon Feck. He's just putting up with me. So I reached out to have our first interview of the Simon Feck and the Ashe show to Dennis. Dennis responds. Actually, on the live stream, Dennis responded. Okay, and he said, Simon Feck, for sure. I said, hey, would you come on the Simon Feck show? Of course, he's busy at the time, but he was not answering anybody. And then he answered myself, Simon Feck. And he said, Simon Feck, for sure, meaning he will come on the Simon Feck show. So I reached out to him on Instagram. And then on Instagram, he gets back and he says, I can't do it on that time at 10 o'clock my time, or I forget what it was, but he said it was going to be midnight his time. I thought it was going to be 10 o'clock. He's from Melbourne.
Okay.
Okay, so that might be an hour or two different than a friend of mine's time.
It's
I'm
2 hours in front of mine.
Yeah, okay.
So right now it'd be lunchtime.
Right, okay. So then that's it. So then I just wonder, okay, now what am I going to do? do I ask the guy if he has a regular job? And then you start getting into people's personal lives. Like, he's like, basically, he said for sure he could do it, but then he said, okay, that's sorry, pal, or whatever. That's midnight my time. Can't do it. But he doesn't say, hey, huh?
Ask him maybe what time he can do it, so you know.
Okay. So we went further than that, okay? So I wait, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do? Do I ask this guy, like, what, do you work during the day like a regular job? Then I got to ask all these questions so we get to a thing. I'm like, basically, I'll make it so it's like 8 o'clock at night for him on a Friday. Now, this is all today now. So he gets back to me, and he says, I can't do it on Friday. and then we go back and forth a little bit, and he says, okay, so it could be Wednesday or Thursday between his 6 and 8 o'clock at night. So he goes, but I can't do it this coming week. Not this week we're in. The next week he can't do it. Then the week after that, your buddy Simon Feck here, since I've been telling you, I'm hanging out with a huge, and I mean a huge, rock and roll band, which I've hung out with many of them. So for 6 days straight, I'm hanging out and touring with the big rock band. So I can't do it that week. So then we're going to set it up for Submission Radio, Dennis to come on, the Simon Feck, and the Ashe show. So it was going to be something like Wednesday, the 24th, I think it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, so 6 o'clock at night. So he's agreeing to all that and everything. And then he says, hey, by the way, I deal in big rock band people. I deal in baseball people. I deal in football people. I deal with movie stars. I deal with all kinds of people. So now I lost my train of thought. So, man, I hate that. I mean, I got the whole, right. I got the whole story in my head, right? So,
I think you said the most important parts.
Okay. So anyway, so I can't do it then. Oh yeah. So then, this is it, right? Okay. Later, if I feel like editing this thing, but I probably won't. But anyways, so he's gonna do it. Everything's fine. Then he says, what kind of questions do you have? Okay. So over at my other channel, they don't like giving the questions out, and we lose a lot of people. Okay. Most people, you can't surprise them. If it looks like they're being surprised, maybe they are, but in most cases they're not. We're talking about big people. We're not talking about people that just got into the genre or whatever, just acquired fame. But a lot of those people have people to tell them what to do. So you send the questions ahead of time. It's not like a political thing, and I don't want to talk about political, but when you're talking about like a huge rock star, like say Paul McCartney, and Paul McCartney has asked me to go backstage and, and give me the, whatever, the roll out the red carpet for me. But we're not talking about Paul McCartney, but in a way we are. Okay. So you got to give these people these questions ahead of time. Yeah. I see. There you go. So this one here, and then a lot of times, they'll be like, oh, that's a good question there. But then there's other people. I see other people like James Lynch is the MMA YouTuber. And he's going on there. I know him. And there's another guy, OG Shawnee Mac. And he asks OG Shawnee Mac, like, hey, what's your top 5 whatever? And he's like taking forever to answer. something like that, it should have been given to him ahead of time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so get to the point. So I give the submission radio guy, Dennis, the questions. He likes the questions. He's already agreed that he's coming on the show. I give him the questions. He likes the questions. So then the next thing is like, so what's your channel? Now here's where it's kind of bizarre to me. He agrees to go on the show, right?
Yeah.
Now look at me, right? Look at this is Simon Feck here, right? So he agrees to go on the show. We go through all that stuff, right? I mean, it's not much, but we go through all that. And then he decides to ask, what channel am I going on? And I go, well, are you talking about the YouTube channels? It's basically the only thing we put anything out on. And I said, it's Simon Feck. And at this time, you're already talking to me. It was just happening just before we went live here. So here's where we're gonna have to listen. It didn't go good now. The guy respects. Oh, I respect all the work you put into it and everything. I said, listen, I'm in the media just like you. You came to New York City. And remember, you were the first one in line at the Madison Square Garden. You were the first one in line. And I came up and I was talking to, later on, he said that he was the first one in line. And I was about the 8th or 9th or 10th, okay? But I came up to him, I was talking to him, but I had told him I was there. And I could tell him certain things that happened. And I talked to him a little bit. But I let them know that I was there. I'm part of the media. I'm in the Apex. They feed me fighters every week. I said it's boring. It's the same thing every week. I got something new going on here. Okay? And that's it. I'm having fun with this stuff. He goes, well, I don't know how it's going to look. I said it's going to look like you, myself, and Ashe. Ashe is a person. You come on as a little white dot, but okay. That's how it's going to look, and it's going to be StreamYard. He goes, well, I want to be up front with you. So remember that little tactic that you said about, I don't want to blurt out like, say, MMA Guru or something, but kind of like sneaking around the bush? Yeah. That I didn't really expect to run into this. But that guy, he has... I don't know. It's a very normal thing, and a lot of these media guys are. Not all media guys are normal. Okay, I mean, I just now somebody's turned me on to this guy Red Bar or something, and he's not normal. But yeah, we might run into that. I'm not really sure. So now he's declined. So what I was going to do is come on here. And do we got stuff in the chat? Hey, have you been paying attention to the chat?
Pay attention. Yeah, yep.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck that guy. We don't need him.
Western Mass. Okay.
Well,
or Dennis.
We're gonna outbuy him. We're gonna buy him out. We're gonna take.
You mean Dennis?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? He just created the villain origin story for us.
Yeah.
He's evil. Yeah. He's turning us evil. He's our nemesis.
Yeah, so I mean, so what it can be is, and I see Western Mass here at 10:22. How long ago? Was that like 10 minutes ago? I can't read. So, anyways, we got to start paying attention to the chat. But anyways. So, yeah, that's it, right? So when you look at this guy, that's what I'm thinking, too. You can't play with the little guy. That's the whole thing, too, is like his buddy, the Sewer King, okay? And it's not really his buddy. I mean, I hang out with Jose more. Jose is a fucking dick. That's why Jose. I mean, I just reported on Jose. I wasn't the one that did any kind of like strikes on him or anything. Yeah, Jose Youngs is a media guy.
Oh,
okay.
Are you sure
he's a media guy.
King?
Yep, and he's the sewer king. Okay. I got people. I got. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, you're going to be one of those too, right?
It's hard. It's hard to tell.
Okay, it's hard to tell. The guy uses tattoo. You got to look at his face too. On the right side, it might not look like I'm touching the right side, but on the right side, there's now anybody could have a mole in the same spot as somebody else. I mean, what is there? 6 billion people on the planet?
Yeah, 22. No, 8. I don't know.
Yeah, like 8 billion. Yeah, that sounds right. It was like, well, I was going to say something else, but let's keep that out. So, yeah, I think it's 8 billion, right? I was going to say 6 billion when I was born, but then people are going to go, let's see how old he is now. Okay. So Jose Youngs, I'm going to tell you this one thing before we could go. We could do that too, but I want to get back to, just remind me, to get back to the submission radio. When you're the little guy, they don't want to fuck with you, okay? When you're the little guy. This is another point of why this channel is here. Because I'm in the Apex and all these fuckers, they're all like, oh, this and that and everything. And then they put a front on. But when a little guy like me, which I'm bigger than them, I could cut their ass off too. But anyways, we're back to Jose Youngs. Let me tell you this about Jose Youngs. I sit next to Jose Youngs. And you're going to tell me I don't know that Jose Youngs is the sewer king? He talks to Amy Kaplan, and he talks to Oscar Willis, and he talks to a guy named Kenny. Kenny's works for, like, out of New York, like ESPN or something. Kenny, I got his phone number in my fucking phone, okay? I sit next to these guys, and I hear this guy, Jose, can't shut up about how great he is at everything. He's the guy that knows how to shop the best, and he's the guy that knows, the best entertainment. He's the know-it-all guy, okay? So he's the know-it-all guy, but also he likes to come in and tell his buddies that are right next to me, which I heard a lot of stuff from James Lynch too, but he's the guy that sits there and goes, yeah, I had somebody come in and go, Jose Youngs, I know it's you. And then when he opens up his briefcase, he's got these things in there. How many people? I know they probably sell a whole bunch of these. Okay, on Wednesdays, it's called Media Day. So on Wednesdays, he gets done at a certain time. He goes back to his hotel, and then he becomes the sewer king. You still there?
Say that again. The last part.
On Media Day, we there's all in the Apex. There's all kinds of interviews with all the fighters. Okay, we all get done at the same time. I go back to the hotel, and then the sewer king comes on. And then it was UFC 300. This is what I figured it out at UFC 300. There was a special event that day because the UFC 300 had a lot of special events. And then I'm watching the Sewer King, and the Sewer King goes, I said to this guy that I work with, I said, dude, I mean, like, you going to take a shower? Or am I going to take a shower? Because we got to get going, man. And the Sewer King goes, I'm getting ready to do something, and it's going to be very special, and I want, different things like that. And I got to get going, the Sewer King said. Maybe it's not all making sense to you. There's more
That's
to
weird.
it. Okay. No, it's not weird. The weirdest thing, the best thing is you asking me it all, but it's like I got to prove it to you. Okay, so I'm right. What? Okay, the Sewer King gets upset that Nina Drama bypassed the media area and she gets special privilege. And she gets interviews with whoever she wants. Do you know that the rest of the media is stuck in a little room and you can't walk out? They walk people in and they walk people out. You don't get to touch them, see them, or anything. I mean, you get to see them, and then everybody interviews them, but you don't have the access like Nina Drama has. One person goes, well, in Nina Drama's, in her favor or her plus, or Nina Drama goes out and does the hustle and gets all the interviews with the fighters. The fighters aren't allowed. Especially the big ones are not allowed to do interviews with people unless they get it cleared. It's like the NFL. When I work for the NFL, it's the same thing. The NFL, they have to get stuff cleared first. So Nina Drama gets all this special privilege. The Sewer King is mad. The Sewer King doesn't do any interviews. Why would the Sewer King be upset that Nina Drama bypassed? The Sewer King's not supposedly in the Apex. Why would he be so jealous about Nina Drama bypassing the other media people and getting the special interviews, and the Sewer King doesn't do any interviews?
He's
That's
angry.
A question. Why would he be angry?
Because she gets privilege and he doesn't.
Well, that's right, but I mean, if he's not Jose Young's in the media, Jose Young's been there like 8 years, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying, but you don't know if Jose is him.
Yeah, because I mean, it's hard to tell because his voice sounds different. That's the biggest thing for me. His voice sounds different.
Yeah. Okay.
How does his voice? Yeah.
It's right there. You know, the guy. It's not clear cut and dry, but the guy's in a hotel. I mean, how many houses look exactly like what it looks like there? I know you don't see much. You see like an orange wall, and then you see a TV like on a table. Now that TV, he likes that one because one time Kenny asked him. So, and I'm right near him, right? Kenny asked Jose Youngs, he goes, so where are you doing this at? And he goes, the same hotel. I'm right next to him. I'm listening to all this.
Yeah.
The same hotel. If you notice, I think there was one. The other ones, the older ones, they're at his mom's house in Canada. Okay? Now, James Lynch, people are saying, oh, Jose Youngs is from Delaware or something, Rhode Island. And then the Sewer King is bragging that he got United States citizenship. James Lynch was talking to this girl sitting right next to me. James Lynch is talking to the girl, but okay, I'm right next to him. It's a small room. And at times it's quiet because everybody's doing media stuff, right? So James Lynch is telling this girl, and I'm listening, and he goes to this girl, he goes, oh, there's a bunch of Canadians in here. Okay? And he goes, you know, I'm from Canada, and so's Sean. Sean's the full send OG Shawnee Mac, his name is.
Oh, yeah.
And then, we're from the same area, but Jose Youngs is from so-and-so. So I know, before I knew about the Sewer King thing, I know in my head, Jose Youngs is a Canadian.
That's so weird.
Weird about what?
Oh, like, it's just weird. I mean, to be honest, I'm looking at his Twitter profile. I can see something. He does really resemble him. Okay.
You also got to know, there's another, there's more. I mean, it goes on and on, okay? So the thing is, you can't, the teeth don't lie, okay?
Isn't he going to get pissed off at you now?
Well, he listen, I tell you that I'm media.
Uh-huh.
There's other things that go on. I've also told you that I hang around famous people my whole life. There might be a reason why I hang out not everything to do with media is being a journalist. What else? Like what are we doing right here? Well, like me and you, how are we connected? We're connected through cameras,
randomness, the algorithm, the gods.
Okay, but I already said it. We're connected together with cameras, like video cameras.
Yeah,
There's thing called media. There's things called media trucks. There's things like that. See, there's things like that. I do sit next to them and things like that. But also, Jose Youngs has never been upstairs, as far as I know. Neither has Oscar. Neither has any of these other people. There's the bottom level of the apex, and then there's the second level. The second level, I've never seen those guys go up there. I get fed up there, and when I mean fed, it's something else. But okay, so
that would yeah.
So somebody, let me tell you this. Somebody recently said, "Well, what about Chael Sonnen? What about his office?" Because I had mentioned something about an office in an apex, and I blurted out right away. Sonnen does not have an office in the apex. Now, somebody would have to probably know or take a good, quick guess that he doesn't have one there, and most people would think that he does have an office there. He doesn't have an office there. I said my office is right next to Daniel Cormier. The only reason I could say that is because, like, there's the front area that has a bunch of offices and then a bunch of this and that, and then if you go all the way back and to the left, there's a whole bunch. That's where the meat and potatoes of everybody that's there. So I'm in that big, huge area right down there, and I said my office is right next to Daniel Cormier's. Jose Young's never been up there.
Do you like Daniel Cormier? Do you like Daniel Cormier?
Oh, yeah, okay, I heard what you said.
I said, is he a dickhead? Because I don't know. He seems like it, but I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so he has to do when you reach a certain level, okay? Now, unlike the submission radio guy, okay? I don't feel like, well, maybe I don't know enough about him, but the submission radio guy is not at that level, okay? There comes to be a certain level. Like this rock band that, let's say that that I'm hanging out with, they almost have to sort of brush people off. I mean, you can't even go outside.
I understand that, but
okay,
all right.
So, but Daniel Cormier is the same way. Now, it's a small world, the MMA world. But even within inside, listen to me, even within inside, like the apex, it's the same core of people. It's like less than 100 people. It's the same 60 people. But every week, there's a whole rush of people. Each fighter has about 2 to 5 people with them. So each fighter, how many? You got like 24 of those. So there's like 100, and like on media day, they're really only allowed to bring one. But like DDP, when he was young and everything, I could tell you stories. DDP wants me to go and hang out at his house and everything. But I've been watching the Red Pill MMA guy, and I don't think I want to go to Africa. But anyways, South Africa. Okay. So, anyways, Daniel Cormier, there's a certain level. And the only guy, everybody's accessible except Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Daniel Cormier is going to give you a little bit, but he can't just sit there and just keep talking to you. Daniel Cormier, he's not at the level where he should brush everybody off. He's at the level where he's, hey, how you doing? All right, okay, hey, I gotta go.
That's not. I mean that I understand, but what I mean though is, like for example, when Jack Della Maddalena, he went on. I was watching a video. He went on stage with a bunch of fighters to do like a 15-minute question thing, and when Jack went up, he started Cormier started saying something about Jack's nose or something, and it came off really like he was an asshole, and he just seems like, I don't know, he just seems really passive. He just has something about him that I don't know. He seems like someone that would like make a lot of comments, but he can't take the comments himself. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know him personally.
Yeah. So, like okay, so they have food for the media, right? And it clearly says on the refrigerator, media only. Now, after the fight, some of the fighters come in there, and their corner comes in there too, and sort of always stands on the side. Almost everybody's corner comes in, but pretty much everybody's. And then they keep trying to raid the refrigerator, and but a fighter, if a fighter says, "Hey, get me something," they get him something and everything. But like Daniel Cormier is like one of the, look at the size of the guy, right? He's one of the he's one of the few guys. He'll come in there in the media area, and it clearly says on there media only. He'll open up the refrigerator. It's these big stainless steel doors and everything. Okay, so there's one thing right there. Now that what I just told you, 2 steel refrigerator doors, right? Now that is the type of information that the Sewer King slips every once in a while. It's not, he didn't give that information out, but he gives information out that I know that he's Jose Youngs, even though I already know that he's Jose Youngs. There's more to Jose Youngs. I mean, we're on it. We're getting ready to move off, but maybe we can move, and I can give the rest of the information later, because when people watch this back, they're going to have questions, and then we could give all that information or whatever, right?
Dude, why would he do it though? Because he's going to get fired.
Okay, all right, okay. So he goes into journalism. This is my guess, right? He goes into journalism, and then he figures out, well, like, I don't know, like back in the day, the Muhammad Ali. You grow up. He's like 55, 56 years old or something like that. And he knew like Howard Cosell and different media people. They become famous. So in his mind, he wants to become famous. But anyways, he gets bypassed. He gets pissed at that. He's got the YouTube thing. He's got the Sewer King thing. I'm a fan of it. I like it. Even though he's busting on people, and it's not nice to bust on people. So I report on him just because he got, banned from YouTube. Nobody's ever said that, like I would be doing it or anything, but I never strike the guy. I was doing the same thing to him that he was doing to other people. I'm just reporting on it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So to him, he started it, and he's going to become famous with that, and then maybe even just get rid of it, because he's not really making. He's basically dirt poor. He's not making money, right? But he was doing good with the Sewer King thing. But the thing is you can't go busting on people.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, I mean, well, that too. So the whole thing that there's the Simon Feck thing is somebody bet me something, and I said, look, okay, I'm an MMA Guru fan, but the MMA Guru did not build his channel. He didn't build it fairly under the YouTube rules.
But if he gets big enough, when he got bigger, it's like he became less offensive, and he became more of an entity. I can see when people get big enough and they start relying on it for money, they become less offensive. They become less themselves because they need the money to live. It's funny. It's really funny. You can see it happening.
Well, because you start to protect what you have, and you go, well, I can't do this because I want to protect this. And let me tell you something, right? So I had a bet with somebody. I said, I'll do this whole thing with like low level, like production and this and that and everything. So I was trying to figure it out, I could have went and bought. Now let's get back. Tell me to come back to the MMA Guru, but I got to go real quick with the Sewer King. So you say his voice sounds different. Like you could put an accent out there, and then you could try to do another accent. Jose Youngs is from Canada. Some people are telling me, hey, he's got a Canadian accent. I go, yeah, well, he's from Canada. Well, he doesn't talk like that. Yeah, because he's been living in the United States. His dad is like a Caucasian guy that lives in Delaware, and his mom is a Mexican of descent woman that lives in Canada. And so he's from Canada. But he's also been living in the United States, so he could it's like people if you're from like Wisconsin, and then you come to Florida, you could turn on the Wisconsin thing and sort of shut it off a little bit.
Hey, buddy.
Underneath the Sewer King's TV, there's this box. There's a box there with some wires in it. That's a voice changer. Okay, it's right there in every video. It's right there. Then he's wearing makeup and everything. He keeps trying to hide that one thing here. You can't change the teeth either. I mean, it's him. Now, the thing on the Sewer King's right wrist, on Wednesdays, they give you a bracelet.
Yeah.
And that same bracelet, you get into the fake weigh-ins, in the press conference, and then the real weigh-ins. And then Saturday, you get like a lanyard around your neck. So he has to hide it in his Wednesday video. That's why he has that handkerchief around the right hand to hide that UFC bracelet. Yeah. Now back to the MMA Guru. I forgot all about it, but so since January is when the Sewer King. January was when the MMA Guru learned about Simon Feck. Yeah. He put out the video. Did I talk to you about this? I think when we first met.
No.
Okay, so in January, the MMA Guru put out a video saying of all the great things that he did in 2024. Mm-hmm. So right then, and then he said he did this and he did this, and I was like, yeah, wrecking people's lives and everything. So then the UFC Seattle card came. UFC Seattle card. The night before that, the MMA Guru set his alarm clock to watch the Simon Feck, because I said I have a video that's 6 minutes and 2 seconds long. I have a video that's going to take the MMA Guru out of the picture or whatever. So he watched it. Now listen to me, okay? I'll have to dig into the UFC Seattle live stream to show you exactly where it is. But, okay, so he watched Simon Feck video. As soon as I got done with that live stream of that, he came on right then, which was a little bit unusual in his timing. And he had told everybody, they said, why are you going live streaming now? And he goes, oh, I don't know. He goes, I set my alarm, and, he set his alarm because he knew it was coming. He knew what I was going to do, this certain video. Now listen to me, because this is really important. This is the whole reason why there's a Simon Feck right now. Okay, so he, after I got done with that video, he goes on a live stream, and he did a 10-hour live stream like it was going to be the last time he was ever to be on YouTube. That's how scared he was, and how I might as well go out with a bang. I might as well get all the donos I can. He did a 10-hour live stream after that. Then it came into Saturday where the UFC Seattle card is. And then what happens is I tell that I'm going to be doing reaction videos from every live stream he has from the very beginning and just go in chronological, whatever it is, order, right? Just all in each, the first, the second, to the third, and everything. So what he does is he takes all of his live streams down. I mean, every live stream the next day. After he did that 10-hour thing, he must have couldn't go to sleep and whatever like that. He took them all down. They were gone for like 3 days. So now doesn't that, I mean, now it could have just been coincidence, right?
Yeah.
So they were gone for like 3 days. Then all of a sudden they showed up again. What he did was he takes the weekly live streams and he puts them into what is like the subscribers or the, what is it? Like when people, memberships. It's for members only, right? So what he did was they used to all be hidden. They wouldn't come up in like the search in YouTube, but now they do. So then he decides, well, maybe instead of me hiding all of this stuff, because listen, the MMA Guru did not grow his channel in a legal manner. Yeah, he got the boost with that Amy Kaplan thing, and I was sitting right next to Amy Kaplan when she mentioned his name, and he got that big boost. Stick with me, Ashe. Okay, I know this is our debut show, and I'm doing all the talking, but you got me on a subject here. Okay, so the MMA Guru takes all of his live streams down, and they're gone. So then later that evening, he comes late. I think that was the first time he started skipping like the prelims. He used to do them all. Now he doesn't. But anyways, I think that was the first one. It was January, the Seattle card. He comes on there, and he looks like he's about to ready to cry. I mean, just the whole time. And people are asking him, what's wrong, and everything. He said, it's bad. It's real bad. It can't get any worse, and all kinds of things like that. So then it's like he's going to cry. Then a day or two later, I thought I had downloaded all these live streams because I knew it was a tactic for me to have them all, and no other media people would have it. And when he took them down, I was glad. That was the whole plan. Then he put them all back up again, but it's flooded now. You have to go way, way back. I mean, it's like it's thousands actually, right? So you would have to, once you go to his website, or YouTube channel, you have to go way, way down to find all this stuff. But actually, if you just look at UFC history cards and you just type it in and put in MMA Guru and then you type in live stream, they'll come up. It's the easier way I found to find them. So anyways, I go back. I downloaded like one video and then another video of his. And then after that, I downloaded about 30 or 40 more of them before I did this video that he's seen. So then I go back and I'm like, all right, I got all these videos. I'm the only one that has them. And I go back and I don't have any of them. Except for like one or two. And then a couple days later, he puts them up. It's scattered with all these other things, And then I told him, I said over another live stream, I said, man, you shouldn't have put them back up. I said, I thought I had them and I didn't. Now I got them. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, but it's really not about getting them. It's a media thing, okay? It's a media thing. When you report, you report. And like James Lynch knows. James Lynch knows because I've talked to him. I said, hey, the Sewer King is Jose Youngs. Why don't you report on that? He won't report on it because it's his buddy. I said, well, you're a reporter. It's a big story. And it's not just Jose Youngs. Listen, it's big. It's huge. It's not just Jose Youngs as the Sewer King. The MMA Guru, during a press conference, he said that Amy Kaplan, she was asking a question. And back then, I think that was her first time on the microphone. He commented on her size. She has some weight to her. He commented on her size, and the whole thing blew up. And then Nina Drama was saying bad stuff about the MMA Guru, and so because the MMA Guru said something about Amy Kaplan. But Amy Kaplan doesn't go around saying that her boss is Jose Youngs. And sorry to tell you, Nina Drama, I appreciate you sticking up for me, but my boss over here is the Sewer King who went on the musical MMA's video called Maneater that did a bash on Nina Drama because she stuck up for Amy Kaplan. But Amy Kaplan was like, what was she like? She was the picked on one, the bullied one, but yet now Nina Drama's getting bullied on, but she doesn't extend her hand out and say, hey, look, I'm sorry to tell you, but this guy bashing you for sticking up for me is my boss, and he's the Sewer King. How come she doesn't tell Nina Drama that?
The whole thing's retarded. I
know. It's fun, though.
I looked it up.
Yeah.
And what the MMA Guru said first, it wasn't necessarily bad, or it was offensive, but he didn't say anything directly bad, but he pointed out something that didn't really need to be pointed out, so it kind of was unintentionally bad if he did it unintentionally. It was just stupid.
Now, you're right. So, like, okay, so I work with Jose Youngs, and working with a guy named Jose Youngs, it's not easy because the guy's he's a fucking dick, okay? But I just recently watched that same thing. I don't know, this one guy did like a reaction thing or a documentary about the whole thing. I just watched it like the other day, and I'm like, the MMA Guru really didn't say anything that bad. I mean, Yeah. So I'm with you on that too. But the one thing is, it's like the Sewer King. The Sewer King. Now this is done afterwards. The Sewer King, Nina Drama. Now Jose Youngs is mad because Nina Drama bypassed him. The Jose Youngs should have not brought the Sewer King character to the musical MMA guy to bash on Nina Drama for sticking up for Amy Kaplan, the girl that works for him. He should have. See what I'm saying? Or you don't. I mean, it's right there.
People forget, man.
Okay. See, you're. I don't know. You're like, hey, Simon Feck. You know. What are you doing here? You don't work side by side with Jose Youngs. Jose Youngs should have said. Jose Youngs should have put a report out there and go, hey, kudos to Nina Drama, but he can't because he's jealous of her. So he goes over to the musical MMA, which he has been. Check this out. I mean, there's so much stuff. It's like you put up on the board. It's like the Matrix thing. You know how they have like people put the yarn, the pieces of yarn and everything. Okay, so in that video back in January, the MMA Guru. Oh God, I forgot what I was gonna say.
It's all good.
But it's like. Oh man, that was an important part. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah.
Okay. You need a break. Yeah.
So what do you got going on?
I just ate my breakfast, some sausages. Well, brunch. I guess it was brunch. Yeah. Okay,
so here we go. So see, you haven't been paying attention to the chat, right? So it says why are you putting dudes' names out there? So that's Western Mass Climber, right? He's saying, why are you putting people's names out there? Jose Youngs. He's talking. That's right. Jose Youngs is not the guy's real name. The guy is Jose Youngs does the Sewer King, but the Sewer King, the guy that does him, his name is Jose Youngs, is not his real name. Jose Youngs is an alias name. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Jose Youngs is not his real name.
Yeah, get high.
So you're talking about, I know what I'm talking about here. Okay? Jose Youngs is not his name. That's not doxing. Now, here's another thing, too. It's like in the United States, right? So you got everybody's name and addresses out there. It's like it's not that much of a big deal. But I'm sort of connected in with these guys from England, and like it's like a big deal to them. Doxing is name and address. I'm not giving out Jose Youngs, which is not his real name. So go ahead and try looking up Jose Youngs. I mean, a reporter or whatever. The only thing you get is like Jose Youngs. You don't get his name and address and everything. You know how I know this? Because I work with the guy. I work alongside of him, and he had a couple family members that died during COVID, and then he, this and that, hey, you want to come to it and everything like that? And I'm like, no. Well, here it is, and here's the card, and la, la, la. I know what Jose Young's real name is because I work alongside of him, Western Mass Climber. Putting people's names
Western
out
Mass
there.
Climber. Do you want to fuck with us? We're an entity.
And then the other thing is, Mr. Western Mass Climber, is I am part of the media. Okay? The media reports on things. Okay? So I'm reporting on things just like the Sewer King reports on how Jake Paul is an asshole. Okay?
Oh, he asked you a question.
It's the same thing. Huh?
Yeah. He asked you a question. He said,
okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Do you mean to look like the thing from the movie Dark Crystal, the fucking villain thing, Skeksis?
Listen, yeah, I mean he's like a buddy of mine, but hey, so just like so somebody did a $1 bet with me. So a $1 bet, and they said there's no way that because we're reporters, right? There's no way that you just reporting things can get the MMA Guru gone. Now, I wasn't trying to get the MMA Guru gone because I'm a fan of the MMA Guru. I said, I guarantee you there's something out there that I can report on that could get rid of the MMA Guru. So we have a $1 bet, and in the year 2025, I was going to do it like around Easter. And I just keep waiting because the Sewer King got in the way. And then other things keep getting in the way. I mean, I got it all there. It's all there. The MMA Guru will not last the 2025 season, and he knows it. A couple people go to him, and they say, hey, have you ever heard of Simon Feck? And he just, he types in like this. He types like this. He looks, he goes, no. The guy looks troublesome. I don't know. And then he just blows it off. He knows who I am. So anyways, no. So this happened like right during Halloween, right? So I'm like, how am I going to disguise myself, right? So I'm like, how am I going to report on this? Because I don't have was it like a .com or anything like that, a website. So, okay, how am I going to do this? So I'm like, I didn't see I didn't know who the clown guy was who just goes on and doesn't show his face. I should have just done something like that. But it was the time around Halloween. So I go by and I see, hey, I could get a stupid Halloween costume. And that's how it started. And now it's getting fun. I don't know, the different characters. I think it's fun. It's kind of like, it's the same thing the Sewer King does. I like the Sewer King. And then we got the Ashe now. Even though I really wanted to banter back and forth with you, but then, you got me on, it's like the number one thing, how Simon Feck got started. And anyway, so Mr. Western Mass Climber is, no, I didn't really try to look like anybody. And I'm like, okay, this, and this, and whatever. And, I mean, the Sewer King is sort of, I got trained by the Sewer King, and I got trained by the MMA Guru because they're more modern than the training that I have received in the past, let's say. Address my other chats, please.
We already said it. Dark Crystal.
Address.
He's asking about the Dark Crystal.
Really? It's weird. I can't see anything like that.
He said, "Do you mean to look like a Skeksis from the 1982 film The Dark Crystal?"
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. The other thing. Do I know you from Fight Night Frankie's chat?
Well, okay, sort of, right? So, yeah, I typed in it. It's probably musical MMA. I mean, he's a buddy of mine, right? But, it's like the whole thing. It's like, the MMA guru thing sort of gets in the way of a lot of things. So, yeah, Fight Night Frankie, I've been in there, and then I just type like one thing, and then he's like, hey, Simon Feck, whatever, come on the show, and stuff like that. And like, I mean, I want to go on the show, but then Bodak was at his house, and Bodak's like, make sure he doesn't, if he's going to come on your show, Frankie, make sure he doesn't, use that stupid voice changer. I'm like, I got to go on and on. I got to protect myself, okay? Because pretty soon, the MMA guru knows he's in trouble, okay? And then, he just knows he's in trouble. So then let's say, Mr. Western Mass Climber, let's say I take the guru down. Do you think I need to be out there, showing my face out there for that? I mean, the Sewer King went down. All I did was report on it. I don't even know if I had anything to do with it. I mean, people have barely seen my channel. I only got 260,000 views. But the thing is I've done enough videos on the same certain people, and only Joe Rogan's the one that says he never goes and looks at his stuff. A lot of famous people I know say they don't go and look at their stuff, but everybody looks at their stuff. At least once a month, somebody that's famous types in their name and looks around. So they see me. Yeah, they see me. So I know what I'm doing. I've been hanging around famous people for a long time. That's all I can say. I would like to tell you that.
We're manifesting something.
Yeah. So
we've been united through the algorithms of YouTube.
Yeah. So anyways, it's like I'm just gonna do the same game. And then like I got like 2 or 3 or 4 people that won't leave me alone about the Sewer King. They're like, well, it's not him. I'm like, I don't know how to tell you. I work right next to the guy.
You got 50 subs. You got 50 subs in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I'm not doing too much of the big stuff. And then
you're doing good.
The subs come in like on my other channel, right? This is good, right? So on my other channel, I'll call you Western. Okay, buddy. All right. I mean, other people call you Western. I know. Westy and WMC. No one calls me by the full name. Okay, sorry, buddy. Yeah, Western. I think Western. I think the musical MMA calls you Western, and I think everybody's Western. I'm sorry. So, yeah, Western. I mean, I know you. I see you around. Okay, so what did I just say there, Ash?
You were talking about. Hang on. I'm going through the conversation in my head. Shit.
Wow, because it was finally going to sort of get me off of the subject here.
Wait.
All good, man. Yeah, Western. How you doing anyways? You want to come on the show here, Western? I didn't pin that stupid thing.
Oh, what were you talking about? No, it was interesting. Wait. I'm going to go back in the live stream. Give me a second.
Okay, so now I'm just going to sit here and not say anything. So if anybody wants to come on, the show, I'll put the link back in. I forgot to type it in or pin it or whatever. But anyways, I was getting ready to get into something to finally get off of that. But, I mean, I'm a fan. Oh, I mean, I'm just doing the same thing as the MMA guru's doing and the same thing that the Sewer King's doing.
So on my other channel, I'll call you Western. Okay, buddy. All right.
Oh, the other channel. Now I remember.
Westy.
Musical lurking. Very good. Okay, so hey, listen, Ash, I remember it now. On my other channel, when you said about about subs coming in or whatever like that, right? I got like 20 this week or so. So
50.
the other channel took twice as long to get 300. But once I got 1128, my 1128th video is the one that broke my other channel. So my other channel has between 75,000 and 110,000 subs, and it has between 75 million and 110 million. Right? I don't want to pinpoint it, right? But it just looked like it wasn't going to happen. It was at like 300 to 600 subs, something like that. And then I'm telling you, like the 1128th video, it took off, and then I ain't never looked back since then. And it just continuously, I don't even have to do anything with it. It just continuously makes money. It continuously gets views, this, that, and everything. Like this one here, there's enough crazy crap on here. A lot of people, and when you're saying the 20 subs, a lot of people click on it. The other channel, about one or two out of like say 50 would drop out. They came in slow. This one here, people click on it, and then they click out. They're like, it's too weird for them or whatever. But they don't understand. The thing is I don't want to be seen. I wish I would have started it now, sort of like the clown, where you just put a picture up and you just talk behind it. It's too weird.
We should prank call Jose Young.
Yeah. So, that's a weird thing too. But again, so. People don't like this person and people don't like that person and everything like that. Well, finally, after a little bit of the time that's gone by and the Sewer King got taken down, I didn't have anything to do with the Sewer King. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But the thing is I was just reporting on it. Okay, so I got 4 or 5 people. And they're like, oh, we're the ones that put up the Sewer King SK and everything. I said, listen, I'm a fan of the Sewer King. Okay? It sucks. I said the only two things that I like to talk about really is the MMA Guru and the Sewer King. You know why? Because I'm fans of both of them. So they're the ones that give me material. I'm doing the same thing that they do. So don't sit here and blame me. I mean, the Sewer King, Nina Drama, Sean Strickland is a friend of mine, okay? I'll be hanging out because of the rock band that I'm hanging out with. I'm gonna be taking, some people with me, okay? So Sean Strickland uses the same term that I do. Nina Drama looks down her feed to see who's talking about her. She knows who she knows who Simon Feck is, right? She just said hello to me the other night, right? So she knows who Simon Feck is. She hangs out with Sean Strickland, and so do I. But she hangs out with Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland is describing the MMA Guru, and he describes the MMA Guru as somebody that goes around wrecking people's lives. That's my statement. Now, somebody else could have came up with the same statement and the same exact statement. I understand that. There's only so many words in the English language, right? But you got people like lurking around here, like my buddy Musical MMA. They use a lot more words. I don't know about you guys, you Aussie guys, or where are you from? You're Syria. That's right. Syria. So I don't know about you guys about, how much extra. I know you use more than Americans, when you Syrians use the English language, but us Americans, we don't really use hardly a small bit of the English language. So,
I only speak American.
American, true. But for Sean Strickland to go and describe the MMA guru as somebody that goes around, now look, it's like it's the whole thing. Somebody that goes around wrecking people's lives. That's just me being like the Sewer King, okay? Because I like the Sewer King and I like MMA guru, but Sean Strickland using the same exact thing that I'm using, and the reason, most likely, I can't claim it. I'll talk to Sean Strickland here in about 14 days or so. I'm going to be hanging out with him. So it's pretty odd that Sean Strickland hangs around Nina Drama and then he's describing it and not saying that they haven't seen my stuff, because I haven't really done Sean Strickland stuff, but I've done Nina Drama and she's seen it. That's all.
People forget, man.
Oh, and the whole point of that is you need to talk to Nina Drama about taking the Sewer King down, because I mean, who else has got muscle like that? That's it. What else you got? So we got stuff in the chat here, right?
No.
You didn't read before, but I said your audio is much more tolerable than at the beginning of the stream. Thank you, Western. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? One thing we haven't done, Ash. Okay, let's see if we can move this into something a little bit better. So
people forget, man.
People forget, man. I like to make the shorts, right? So let's do a Western short here. Okay. So all right. So let me get this down here now. So you didn't read it before, but your audio is much better now. Ladies and gentlemen, Western in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah. Western's in the chat. Western says, hey, guess what? We can almost understand you now talking to me. The sound effect, the 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Western. Yeah. Western. Ladies and gentlemen, Western in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Western can almost understand me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
It's like your autism just skyrocketed.
I mean, it's been basically like a boring. I mean, it's very informational, and then a lot of people are going to get stirred up. A lot of people are going to get stirred up from what I've said so far. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Western says, woo! Oh, so also, hey, check this out, Ash. So if you were to come around me, I have driven him around, right? But also I drink with him and everything. So Ric Flair drinks like right down the road from me. So people come over, they come over to my house and everything. And I say, hey, you want to go drinking with Ric Flair? And everybody laughs like why the hell is he saying this? I'm like, no, you want to go drinking with Ric Flair? And they'll be like, well, yeah, So we get in the car and we drive down. There he is. He's there every day. So anyways, all right. So when Western typed in "woo," I was like, "Woo!" Yeah. And here's another thing too. It's like at the MMA, well, the UFC fights, right? When things get sort of boring, everybody starts going woo, woo, woo. But that's like it's a little shed off of the Ric Flair woo, because a lot of other events that they'll do the woo, but it's changed a little bit with the UFC, but it's the Ric Flair woo. And then you go to football games and there's woos and everything like that. So I go to a football game, an NFL game with Ric Flair, and we're like going up the steps, like there's elevators, Tampa Stadium, right? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? So, but then there's these outside little spin around steps, walkways, or whatever that you go up if you're gonna go up to the top or whatever like that. So we're up there, and he's like leaning over, and there's all these people getting ready to do their tickets and whatever to get in and everything, and everybody was doing the woo thing, and I was like, they do the woo thing every football game, but now they're doing the woo thing with Ric Flair, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ric Flair, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Show us your penis exercises.
So that was the thing. So Western. So that was the thing, right? So what I did was I was going to have. All right, yeah. All right, go ahead, take off. You know, part of the Simon Feck and the Ashe show's leaving, ladies and gentlemen. So, well, go ahead, be right back. What I did,
I'm not leaving. I mean, I got to go to the toilet. I'll be like.
Well, I knew that, but whatever. Whatever you do, just go ahead and just blurt it out, okay?
I gotta take a shit.
Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me, man! I mean, what a debut show we have here. I mean, the other guys just say that they're gonna play some music or something like that, and you don't have to describe what you're gonna do. You're gonna put a deuce in the toilet, right? So just take off, hurry up, be done, hurry up. So Western. So I had a phone set up, and it's in the room here, and it's an iPhone. So the iPhone doesn't allow you, like the other ones do. What's the name of the other phones? I've only had iPhones, so the other ones are whatever they're called. You can't turn the sound off when you're like in stream. You're like in what's this thing called? StreamYard. The sound won't go all the way off. So I got the phone over there, and I got it faced at a little Conor McGregor stupid figurine or whatever. And we were going to have Conor McGregor come on. So it was. I had the microphone turned off from it, but the actual iPhone, if you look it up, it won't allow it to go. So some of the sound was coming through, and it was doing a loop, and so that. But it's raining here where I'm at. I was going to put it outside, but it's raining. And then I got somebody sleeping in the other part over there and whatever. So anyways, that was part of the problem with that. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, we were going to have what started this thing here. We're looking for a co-host and somebody that'll come on and actually show their face. I got Simon Feck looking like this. I got Ashe that you can't see. It's a little white dot. I need a human on this show, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyways, we're gonna do it.
Just woke up.
You just woke up? What did you say?
I'll show my face, but I just woke up.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. Well, I'm just talking, right? So, anyways, he says, please read above woo. Oh, okay. Do you know Justin James? Is that how you say his name? He's the only pro fighter I talk to. I don't know. I mean, should I? I mean, I don't know. Hey, Ashe, can you look him up? Or are you're not capable, like doing this?
One sec.
Okay. That's a whole nother thing too, Western. When you're talking about like, did I want to look like this or anything? The whole problem with these stupid gloves right here, you can't. I got a phone here. But you can't. It won't do anything. You got to have your skin against it. So, I mean, I got other computers here too, but I just don't have that set up right now because we were going to have Justin James' locker is next to Francis Nagano's at Extreme Couture. Ooh, very good. So then, I must know him. I must know. Couture is a friend of mine, so, right? So, I mean, you must have figured it out when I said I'm a friend of Sean Strickland. So, okay. So then having Ashe look him up, maybe I need to see his face, but I mean, I see all those guys in there. Like, I go in there, well, because Couture's a friend of mine, so I go in there, I go up in the office and things like that, and then, like, the 1 o'clock practice, it's like 1 p.m. or something like that, the one that Sean Strickland runs, which is a couple pro fighters and stuff. It's not the pro fighter. The pro fighter's, like, at 3 o'clock, and then sometimes I go to that, too. I don't know which one he goes to, but I see so many people in there. And then sometimes my buddy Chuck Liddell shows up, and then I get my picture with Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture together, and stuff like that, which is cool. And the Ole's in there, the Ole. I mean, you just look it up who's all in there. I mean, I must know him. Has a YouTube channel called 10-7 MMA. Okay, very cool. All right, thanks, Western. Appreciate it very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Western just informed Simon Feck. Wait, 10-7. 10-7. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, Western just informed Simon Feck of the great 10-7 MMA, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck's going to check out the 10-7 MMA, ladies and gentlemen. By Justin James, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah!
Yeah!
Okay, so do you know him, Western? Because, I mean, I mean, like I'm good friends with Couture, right? So I don't like going in there all the time. So
he's a featherweight.
Yeah, I'm still gonna need to see a picture of him, but
I'll
look later. I'll look later. But my point is I don't like going in there. I like going into, Couture's gym, like at a certain interval, like every 3 months or every 4 months or something like that. I don't like going in there all the time and being the guy that's just hanging out, because they're like my friends. And then but you're not training, you're not sparring, you're just standing there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, Ashe.
I was gonna say I did grappling, and then I broke my leg. I broke my fibula and tibula, and I've got 2 screws in my ankle, so I'm retired. I give up.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's injured that does that, but I mean, I don't know what to say, So I mean, I'm not a fighter. I started hanging. Well, that's what I was going to say right there about the Couture thing, right? So I started hanging out with famous people and, let's say, doing stuff for famous people. That's a better way to put it. For a long, long time, right? So I've moved around here and there.
Diddy? Like hanging out with Diddy?
Huh?
Hanging out with Diddy?
Oh, yes, sir. Now, but okay, so see, but I'm about ready to tell you about a little party that can really pinpoint me down here. Okay, all right. So, and I just seen it today, right? So Star Island, I knew that there was somebody was there, and it was this other certain famous person, right? But it's called Star Island, STAR, Star Island in Miami. And today on TV or something, the bird, the bird, right? The bird was watching TV, and the Star Island thing comes on. And I go, yeah, I've been there. So it said Shaquille O'Neal, which I have means to hang out with Shaquille O'Neal anytime I want, right? So Shaquille O'Neal and, I don't know, was it like Gloria Estefan or something? She's on Star Island, right? But also Diddy is on Star Island. So, I'm part of the media, right? So I go to the Super Bowl. I go to every Super Bowl. And I do I do every media. It's called Media Row. Well, Radio Row. Back in the day, and a lot of people still use the term Radio Row, but nowadays they're calling it Media Row. It's 1 week before the Super Bowl, so it's called Radio Row. I do that every year, and then there's parties that happen. So there's this party. It's put on by Michael Bay. Michael Bay did it was a movie, and Cuba actor, Boys in the Hood or whatever. So he did that, and they did Transformers or something like that. He's a big director in movies, Michael Bay. Michael Bay puts this thing on every Super Bowl. It's called Big Give, Big Give Back, Big Give or Give Back Big or whatever like that. And it's all kinds of famous people. So the house was for sale that we were at this party. It was $60 million, and we're all at this party, and it's nothing but famous people. I mean, you talk about Jamie. I don't know. I mean, all the movie stars and football stars and everybody there. There's one other house having a party. It was Diddy's house. So these people come over. I can't remember. Cuba Gooding, right? So I got my picture with Cuba Gooding. Cuba Gooding is a little bit in on the Diddy thing. The Diddy people were having a party the same night. So they come walking down to where we're at. So like everybody's there. We're all mixed in. It's like 300-400 people, anyways, at a Super Bowl party. You can look it up. See, I can't just make this stuff up on the spot, right? That'd be kind of weird, right? For me to have this information in my head. You can look it up. It's called Big Give, Big Back, or it's Big Give.
Big Dick.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever, like that. And it's Michael Bay, and he has a Super Bowl party, and he rents out a real nice house every town that the Super Bowl's in every year, and he has a party, and it's a bunch of famous people, and then there's only so many people can. I get invited to it. So I didn't actually go to a Diddy party, but there was a Diddy party going on. If you look on Star Island, it's probably about 8, 12, maybe about 14 houses, I'm going to guess.
Funny story about Michael Bay. Do you remember that time he was promoting a TV for Sony? For Michael Bay? He was promoting a TV for Sony, and he was talking on stage, and the teleprompter cut out. And he was like, you could see he froze. He didn't know what to do. And then he started to improvise. And then he just starts talking. And then he gets like a panic attack. And he's like, I can't do this. And he walks off stage.
Wow. Yeah.
He's not really good at public speaking, I think.
Yeah. Well, I understand. So when I was there, it was like the Breaking Bad guys were there. Like... And then he like the main guy in Breaking Bad. I used to know his name. I forgot his name. Right? He was sitting right next to me. He bought a boat. There was an auction there, right? And he bought a boat. $60,000 auction. This boat was anchored right outside the house there at Star Island, and he bought a boat, $60,000. It was supposed to be worth like, I don't know, $200,000 or something like that. But he bought that at the auction. He was standing right next to me when he bought it.
Who's the most famous person you've met?
Yeah, people ask me this all the time. You know, it's. I mean, is it going to be Trump? I mean, because.
Yeah, I guess so. Right now.
Yeah, right. But like I've met
Conor McGregor.
Hmm? Yeah, absolutely.
What is he like in person? What is his like energy like?
Yeah, it's just like you see what you see that's exactly him right now.
Do you remember
but he wasn't all.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, do you remember when he met Johnny Depp in Rome and he was getting him to drink his whiskey and he was like, "Here, Johnny, have a proper 12," and then Johnny Depp just looked fucking terrified.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. But yeah, I mean, Conor's obviously gone through a couple different, things. So
Yeah.
A couple of different stages, right? So at one point he was one way, but now he's exactly he can't shut off. I mean, I don't know.
Fucking...
Everybody keeps saying cocaine, but
he's just an animal. He likes fighting.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you don't think he's on drugs?
Oh, I mean, probably, yeah, but I don't think that's the reason he's fucked up. I think it's just his personality.
Okay, maybe he's playing around. I seen one thing he said. Supposedly he's got a guy that carries a briefcase around. So
probably, yeah.
Okay, now listen. Okay, so I've told you, like, I've been hanging around famous people for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's different ways for people when you have enough money and then you have enough people that want to do things for you. It's not always just the money. It's either you have people that want to do things for you. That's where, certain traps people get into or whatever. But if you got enough money, you're not going to get caught with the stuff. The stuff isn't going to be on you. I heard that Conor McGregor has a guy carrying a briefcase, okay? So I was backstage BKFC. I've been backstage BKFC a whole bunch, right? I was backstage BKFC, and this idiot Conor McGregor's running around like if anybody ever tied him down, it would be torture. Okay, because he has to move. He has to move, right? But I go, son of a gun. He came in late, but maybe he was late, but he said, his flight got whatever, this and that and everything. I think he just came late just to come late, So, son of a gun. I mean, I read this thing about the briefcase and everything, and there was like 3 or 4 guys with him. I got video of it on my phone, but of course I can't really show you, right? So, because I get found out and all this stuff, right? But there's a guy walking around with him. They're going to a BKFC fight. Supposedly they were on a commercial flight, and it was like a last-minute thing. And then everybody was saying, "Oh, so-and-so is going to show up." It was a rumor that, I don't know, I'm going to pick somebody. Mike Tyson's going to show up. And next thing you know, it's Conor McGregor. This is way before he was part of the BKFC ownership of 3% or whatever he has. But they're going to a bare knuckle boxing match, and Conor McGregor is so important that he's got to have a guy walking around with a briefcase. Okay. So I'm thinking it's and then also me hanging around famous people, I know how things go on. You say you're going to a certain town and you have the shit delivered there, okay?
Who is someone you met that I don't know, maybe you thought they were completely different to what you thought. And I mean maybe in a bad way, like someone is just that motherfucker's fucked up, but you never expected that.
Well, no, I mean, pretty much, I mean, people are more laid back when they're not on. I mean, everything's I don't go around going, I think Western dropped out because we went to 0 and now we're back to one person watching or whatever, right? But maybe Western's back or whatever. But me, I don't go around going, ladies and gentlemen, Western wants to know. Ladies and gentlemen, Western wants to know if the guy has a bald head. No, Western says that the gentleman has a bald head. He was talking about Michael Bay, right? Yeah. But I don't go around acting like that, right? Just everyday life, right? So most of the people, they're more just laid back. But what's her name? I just hung out with her. And the thing is I didn't even know it was her. And when I was younger, I was like, oh my God, this girl's so hot. But she's Shania Twain, right? I don't know if you know who Shania Twain is.
What's her
way
name?
back in the day. Shania Twain, a country star.
Shania Twain.
Yeah, there you go. You said it right. It's an American thing, country, right? So Shania Twain is like, nowadays, a couple other people have gotten bigger than her. But at one point, she was like the biggest thing on the planet as far as like #1 singles and album sales and everything. Her name's Shania Twain, country star.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging out with these people this rock band that I'm getting ready to hang out with, right? So I'm hanging out with them, and this girl comes walking through the backstage area. And then a couple people start whispering and everything. And I'm wondering what's going on. I mean, there's people from like Kiss, the rock band Kiss and other bands, backstage and everything, right? So, I mean, there's other big people around. So why am I caring about, people starting to whisper and everything? And then they're starting to pay attention to this girl. And I just thought they were paying attention to her because there's this little dog. She's got a little dog. And she's a woman, a girl. I mean, this Shania Twain, man, she had these high boots on and looking hot like back in the day, right? But she just looked like an ordinary person that basically, let's say, doesn't have very much money, doesn't have like the $1 million clothes, and I don't know. She just looked like, I don't know. She's getting ready to pull out a vacuum and start vacuuming, right? So it was surprising when somebody turned to me and they said, "That's Shania Twain." All of a sudden, I'm like, I want my picture with Shania Twain. But I mean, people will surprise you. I mean, and then like 2 weeks later, she was in a movie, a brand new movie, and I seen her in the movie. She looked pretty hot in the movie and everything, but she didn't act like that. I don't know. She just acted normal. Most people just act normal. It's like, Connor doesn't act normal. Connor acts like you see him, okay? But most people are just laid back. Oh, check this out. I don't know, like Hulk Hogan, right? So I've been hanging out with Hulk Hogan pretty much recently here. Been hanging out with Ric Flair recently, but also back in the day, came to see my band was what's his name? Randy Macho Man. Do you know who Randy?
Yeah.
Macho Man Randy Savage is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he comes to see my band. And then the backstage area was a bus. Sometimes like these rock bands, you travel around in a bus, and then the backstage area is a bus. So you get off of your bus and then you get on another bus. But sometimes there's rooms and things like that. But anyways, it was a bus. So the backstage area, so my band gets done playing and everything, and we go back into the bus, the backstage area, and Macho Man's there, and he's talking. He's kind of giving that voice, and every once in a while he was just sort of like kept falling into like the regular voice. So the other guitar player in the band, he brings his son on the bus. All of a sudden, Randy Poffalo, that's his name, right? Macho Man Randy Savage, all of a sudden he's in character. His son was like 7 or 9 years old, right? All of a sudden, yeah, what's up, brother? He jumped right into character. He wasn't acting like that when he was talking to us and everything. He's like, hey, it was kind of rainy that day, and his limo driver, he's putting on a show, right? His limo driver had the umbrella holding for him and everything, right? I mean, it's like his best friend driving his own car, but it makes it look good. And he had the umbrella. His limo driver had the umbrella, and he was like, shielding Macho Man, from the rain and everything. And then we get in the backstage area, which is a bus, and he's just acting normal. That guy's his buddy. The driver's just a friend of his, and he's not acting like like he's like his butler or anything. They're just acting like they're two buddies. But when they're out in front of people, they're acting like it's it's a big show. But anyways, there you go. Just like that, Macho Man And Macho Man, okay, so when I was fresh out of high school, my roommate was a wrestler in the WWE. So I'm telling you, it started early, dude. Okay. And then when I was younger, I was walking around, and then there's this guy. His name is Gordon Soley. He was announcer for wrestling around in our area. And then he knew Dusty Rhodes. So when I was a young kid, this guy Gordon Soley liked me. And then there was baseball spring training around when I was young, and these baseball players liked me. So I started hanging out with famous people early on. So I got the bug like way early on. And so then, so my roommate is a WWE wrestler, but he's like, they use him. I forget the term they use him. He's not like somebody that you know. He was like one of the guys where they would, at once a month, WWE, WWF back then, they would do it. It's called a taping. So once a month you do a taping, and then they split it up and use it into 4 different sections throughout the week and everything, right? So then you get these guys that they're just backstage, and then the other wrestlers they pick this guy, and then they pick this guy, and then this is back in the older days though, and they pick this guy and they go, okay, and then what they do is they just smash these guys and make them look big until they do. That's like the build up to about how big and bad they are. So my friends would just get beat up, you know. And so Macho Man, my roommate, his best friend was like best friends with the Poffalo family. That was Randy Savage and the genius Poffalo or whatever like that. So Macho Man comes over to my house, and the very first time I met him, so this is like before the guitar, him coming to see my band or whatever. So we see Macho Man, and he's doing the voice and everything. And my roommate told him, dude, look, I'm in the business. You don't have to do the voice. He goes, what are you talking about, Macho Man? He's still doing the voice, right? He opens up his trunk of his car right in front of my house. Opens up the trunk of his car, and he says to my roommate, he's a huge dude, and he says, hey, you want to autograph the 8x10 glossy? Anyway, so Macho Man, most of the time, he was in character. That's all. Sorry to bore you.
Wait. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, no point in a live stream if it's not interactive, man. Yeah, listen, Western. So this is our first, debut, and I understand what you're saying. So my other half of the show, his name is Ashe. So we've been trying to work out, how we're going to do this. And I have a little bit of trouble with this, and it's not an excuse, but I guess it is. And I have a little bit of trouble seeing stuff. I couldn't do it beforehand when it was YouTube because I couldn't get the background dark. Now we're using what's called StreamYard, and the background's dark, and now I could kind of see it, with these stupid sunglasses on, right? So I really can't see it, but now I can see the chat. But my buddy Ashe was going to read stuff when it came in. I said, you know what? We got to be interactive. Sorry, buddy.
Wait, there's nothing he's saying there.
But I don't know. You must read chat. Well, he did tell me that, and I didn't go to that because I think that my stories are so important, and maybe they're not. The thing is like
the guy in the chat.
But
Fire Ashe, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Is that what he said?
He said, "Fire Ashe."
Oh, Fire Ashe.
There's nothing. There's nothing to interact with. There's nothing to interact with.
Okay, well, I mean, there kind of is, but all right. So
he's talking about a bald
Fire
guy.
Ashe. Okay, but the bald guy, he was trying.
What do you want me to ask? Where's his hair? Where's his hair gone? Yeah.
Okay, but okay, Ashe, but the bald guy was a reference. He was saying Michael Bay. We were talking about Michael Bay, and then he just put in bald guy, meaning I guess he's either saying, is that the guy, the Michael Bay I'm thinking about, the bald guy? He was interacting to what we were doing at that moment.
I don't even remember.
Well, there you go.
Oh, he just wrote no.
Oh, so now he's saying no. Well, there you go. See,
Yeah.
we're being interactive here.
And he's going to re-break my leg.
I'll re-break your leg.
Yeah.
Mate. He threw in a mate for you. I'll re-break you. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, we need some shorts here, right? All right.
Yeah.
So give me a couple. I mean, Justin's the bald guy. Okay. All right. So maybe I didn't really finish that thing or anything. Now listen, I'm gonna go Western. I'm going out in about maybe a week or two, and then I'll hang out with your buddy. But now I'm gonna have to go into the Couture gym in my Simon Feck costume because. You know what I'm saying? I know.
Would smash your face.
Oh, Sean Strickland. Until I have to say something to Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland wouldn't put up with this. I'll tell you that. Oh my God! All right, so let me do a short here. All right. So what was it?
You need to put your MMA guru mask on.
Oh, I mean the changeover is kind of difficult. So what I did on the Moss show, I put it on over the thing, and he was laughing about it. He just put the mask over the top of it. Yeah, because this isn't a mask. This is how I look, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. But let me get a Western one in. This will probably be a good one, right? So I might have to do it a couple times, right? Let's get a good one here. So I'll read. Ladies and gentlemen, Western just said that he'll have to re-break our co-host. All right. Well, you're not a co-host. What are you?
I'm the producer.
What are you? Huh?
I'm the producer. Yeah.
The producer. Okay, so then I thought this was the Simon Feck and the Ashe show, but you could still be the producer. Okay.
I'm everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, huh?
I'm everything. Oh, continue.
I don't like where this. I don't like where
slap
that
your light.
stupid thing
Slap
is.
your light and go again. Slap your light and start again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Western just said that he'll re-break the leg of our producer Ashe, ladies and gentlemen, the producer of the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. Western just said that he's going to break the leg of Ashe, the producer of the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. Western, putting it out there, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to re-break the leg, of Ashe, the producer of the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I don't know if that's good enough. So we got to redo it, right? So normally, okay, well you think so, right? So normally what I do, that's why I redo stuff. People say, well, I don't know if people say it, right? I'm just thinking people say it. He's repetitive. He says the same thing 3 times in a row. Usually the third time is the better one. You just keep going at it or whatever. You understand?
Producer.
All right, hold on a second. Oh, so I had a Mike Perry. I had a Mike Perry one, and his arm fell off. So maybe I should break one of these legs. Ladies and gentlemen, Western said he's going to break the leg of our producer Ashe, ladies and gentlemen. We're selling tickets, ladies and gentlemen. They're only $29.95 for the pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. $89.99 to come see it in person, ladies and gentlemen. Western gonna re-break the leg of Ashe, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. The producer of the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. You see that leg right there, ladies and gentlemen? Somewhere in there. I don't know. So you can't do it. See, it doesn't seem like it's coming out that good.
No, it is good. You have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
$29.95.
Okay, so okay. Ladies and gentlemen, MMA Feck, ladies and gentlemen, MMA Feck won the inaugural MMA fights from Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. We have Western taking on Ashe, the producer of the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. And Western says that he's going to break the leg of the Ashe, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else. How we get this is a good one here.
Start talking. No, what was the thing yesterday? I sent you a message.
Producer. Huh?
I sent you a message about saying something funny. Fuck. Hang on.
You did?
Yeah, wait.
Okay, okay, but listen here, Ashe. Listen, when you were taking a shit, you're supposed to be working, but when you're taking a shit, and I watch a lot of people's streams, right? And I never hear any of them say they're going to go take a shit. Anyway, so when you're taking a shit, I was explaining that I got these gloves on, and on the phone, I could take it off, okay? I could take it off, and then because you got to put, skin on the glass to use it. You're gonna send me a message. Why don't you just tell me?
Wait. I'm not sending a message. I'm looking at our chat. I said something funny.
Oh, okay. All right. So, producer. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe.
I was watching the Artem Lobov interview, and I was
less ladies and gentlemen, maybe.
I was like, this guy sounds inspirational. He said, what did he say? What do you call it? Doubt is only removed by action. He was trying to talk about Conor McGregor, like he should go back to grappling to get used to his body, to get it fight ready.
Okay.
I don't know. It was really motivating. You should watch that interview. It was good.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
Very good.
Very good. So I'm telling you right now, Western says, lose the ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's like the best part.
Yeah, but so when I say it a lot of times, I don't know where I'm going to cut the video, and that's another problem. I know basically the shorts should only be 13 seconds, basically around there. And then I keep using a minute. Stupid. It's so stupid. I know better than that. And then like you say, don't use so much color and so many words on it. I know I should. I don't know what it is. I just keep going on it like that. But one thing, Western, yeah, it's kind of like I'm saying ladies and gentlemen a lot, but I mean, it's really 13 seconds, and I might be talking 35 seconds here, and I put 5 ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I didn't say lose it, just less.
Here's something you can do right now. You need to you need to say to the camera, you need to slap the light and say, ladies and gentlemen, say you can predict the future and that you're gonna open up a whiskey business and your producer Ashe is gonna sue you.
Okay.
I don't know. Like Artem Lobov, he's suing Conor McGregor.
Because of that. See, I didn't watch that interview, and now I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
he's suing him. But it sounds like he came up with I don't know. Artem seems pretty smart. He seems like he came up with it, and he's not asking for much, and he was talking good about Conor. So, yeah, tell the audience how I'm gonna sue you when you open your whiskey business.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here. Simon Feck's going to be opening up his own whiskey brewery, ladies and gentlemen, his own whiskey label, ladies and gentlemen. And my very own producer, Ashe, is going to be suing me. You know why I know this? Because I can predict the future, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I'm gonna sue you for $29.95. Yeah.
That isn't what's going on, though, right?
No.
Okay. Stop lurking, musical. Your Lord Bosch. Oh, 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, we got musical MMA lurking into Simon Feck's stream here, ladies and gentlemen. Stop lurking, musical. Your Lord Bosch. Ladies and gentlemen. So my buddy musical MMA, right? So musical MMA, he watches this other guy. He's like more like a boxing guy. Excuse me. He's more like a boxing YouTuber guy, but he uses the term Bosch a lot. So in his streams and Western's in there a lot. So their whole thing is Bosch now. So that's it. What's he got here? I hope I'm here when that light gets smacked off the ceiling. That's a whole nother thing too. This microphone's new. To try to get my voice closer to a microphone, but it has come off the ceiling one time. Western, I got it all taped up there. There's like a couple screws and everything. I'm actually in a pull behind trailer here. Actually, does
your
trailer
wife think you're crazy?
Yeah, it's not good.
Like around 10 p.m. you put your mask on and she's looking at you like, what the fuck? What is this man doing?
Yeah, it's not good at all. And
why?
Okay, but if I say it out loud, right? So it's in this stream. I've already put a million things, not really a million, but I put a million things in here. When certain people listen to this, but it's always got to be a certain people, okay?
Yeah.
A few amount of people, but there's going to be some people that are really going to. Some of the stuff that I said earlier, it's really going to stir some stuff up. Let me tell you. But if I go ahead and say this, right? So the musical clown, right? Or the clown show live or whatever. And he calls everybody a ped, okay? Everybody's a ped. But, what's a grown man, like in a mask and everything, and then these things here. And that's what my wife says. She's like, the police are going to come here and they're going to get you. They think you're a fucking goddamn, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to sit there and say it because now people are listening to it and everything, but it's there. But a lot of people don't say it, which is cool. I like it because it's not what's going on here. I'm here hiding my identity. And I wish I would have taken the clown show live thing and just had a picture across the screen instead of doing all this. But I'm stuck in this thing now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
too deep.
Man, dude. I mean, what woman would want her man in a costume like this, right, Western? I mean, that's it. Western says we got to talk to the audience here. You know what I'm saying?
Wear it on your wedding day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ashe, the producer. Ladies and gentlemen. All right, I stuttered on that one. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here. Ashe wants to know if his bird thinks it's normal to be dressed up like this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the producer of the Simon Feck Show just asked Simon Feck. God damn it.
Wait. You need to say, ladies and gentlemen, the producer just took a shit on our debut.
Ladies and gentlemen, Okay, hold on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, on the maiden voyage of the Simon Feck and the Ashe Show, the producer Ashe took a shit in the middle of the show, ladies and gentlemen. You talk about doing preparation? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about show preparation, ladies and gentlemen. Ashe, the producer of the show, ladies and gentlemen, took a huge shit in the middle of the show, ladies and gentlemen. You talk about highlights of the show, ladies and gentlemen. One of the highlights of the show, The Simon Feck show sucks balls, but the best thing was that the producer took a shit in the middle of the show, ladies and gentlemen. There we got one there, ladies and gentlemen. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We got a YouTube short here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, going down in YouTube history. Wait, hold on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, today, MMA history has been made, ladies and gentlemen. The maiden voyage of the Simon Feck show and Ashe show. Ladies and gentlemen, the highlight of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Ashe took a huge shit, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the show sucked so bad. That was the highlight, ladies and gentlemen. You should have been here, ladies and gentlemen. One day, people are going to come up to you and they're going to say, "Where were you the day that Ashe took a shit on the show, ladies and gentlemen?" I was there. I remember where I was, ladies and gentlemen.
When the aliens come down and the Earth has been destroyed, humanity is gone. This is what's going to be left of our civilization. This stream.
Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, Western in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, think that's the Simon Feck and the Ashe show title. Name of the show sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. Our number one fan, ladies and gentlemen, Western, thinks that our show title sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. The best thing about this show is the highlight is taking a shit from the producer, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think that the Simon Feck show sucks balls as it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show is a piece of shit, and Ashe just produced. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show just produced a turd, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the producer Ashe just dropped it in the toilet, ladies and gentlemen. On the maiden voyage of the show, ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show and the Ashe show that the title sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm telling you what, the Simon Feck show is producing something, and you know what it's producing? Turds, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck show is producing, ladies and gentlemen, and what it's producing is nothing but a bunch of shit, ladies and gentlemen, hanging, dangling from the ass of the Ashe, ladies and gentlemen, the producer of the Simon Feck and the
Western Mass Climber. When we monetize this channel and the members will be called ladies and gentlemen, we'll be assigning them pronouns. They're whatever the fuck we tell them they are. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. You just heard it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, our number one fan, you can't even call him a fan anymore. Now he's part of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got his own
acquired another one, ladies and gentlemen. We're running 3 deep. Ladies and gentlemen, the debut show of the shitty titled Simon Feck and the Ashe show. Ladies and gentlemen, running 3 viewer high deep, ladies and gentlemen. We just reached new heights on this show. Ladies and gentlemen, today we set a record of 3 high viewers, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, fuck. I
feel like a beak. It's trying to suck my balls. What? Is trying to suck my balls? I understood it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. No, but listen, I don't know if I want to put out that Simon Feck's beak is like reaching into people's living rooms and trying to suck somebody's balls. That's basically what he's trying to say. You got it.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Oh man, I don't see every show I do, I always think, man, that one sucked balls, and then later, usually I'm running like a couple other cameras, and then I put them in the stupid laptop and everything, and it takes a while. The next morning I wake up and I go, that was pretty good. I always think the show's sucking. Like, did I get a couple shorts out of this? I think so, right? The shit thing was pretty good, right?
That was funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in, ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck and the Ashe show is starting to tank, ladies and gentlemen. It went from a 3 high viewer down to 1 viewer, ladies and gentlemen. And we want to thank, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Mr. Western himself, ladies and gentlemen, for hanging in there, being that one viewer, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, what's this fucking this guy on the Jackson podcast, Bear? This guy.
Yeah.
People are always giving him shit. He has 9 views on his video.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I know Rampage, right? So I know him personally, right? I think Bear is a rich guy, right?
I think so.
Is Bear the one that's like straight down the table, like straight ahead?
Yeah, the little guy. I looked it up. On his channel. I think he was like a paintballer, like professional or something.
Okay, I don't know anything about that, but the guy that I know, like, he's the jewelry guy.
Who's that?
And his huh?
Who is that?
I think it's the Bear guy. It's the guy that's straight down. Oh. He's not like. Okay. So I got this funny thing too. Is they dressed up as me on the show one time, and that was when I was early on. So I hung out with Rampage like almost every Super Bowl. I hang out with him, right?
Yeah.
So, but they were dressing up like me on one show and everything, but nobody got it. But this year around, people might get it this time. Okay. But anyways, the guy straight down. The guy straight down at the table. He's basically the one looking. He's not the two guys when you're looking at it on the right, or the one guy, or or whatever.
My question though. My question: What the fuck is the Jackson this Jackson thing? It's weird because you've got Armin Suyukin, you've got Khamzat Chimaev, you've got fucking Luke Rockhold, TJ Dillashaw. It's so random. Like these people, Rampage, that it doesn't make sense. To me, I look at these people; they're so random. Why are they meeting up? It's weird. It's so random.
Well, I don't know about random and everything. So, I mean, without like doxing myself, we're gonna get to it. So, Bear makes the jewel. That's about how I'm gonna say the jewelry. And that came from Western, ladies and gentlemen. Western says that Bear is the guy that makes the jewelry. So, as far as I know, right? Okay, so on my other show, I put together like a nice set. Like this one here is, different or whatever like that. But I put together a set just like the Jackson podcast. So then Jackson comes around my other set and everything, and he sees it. And I'm like, next time I see Jackson, I'm like, it's simple, right? You just got the squared, you got this or whatever like that. But it's weird. It's like they put it together. And it does look like a lot of other people's sets and everything, but it's weird that, I don't know, you just had to be there. It's like kind of like Jackson said, why don't we make it something like that? I mean, but other people have it like that or whatever. All right. So this is how I know it. The Bear guy, his family's rich and they do jewelry.
Yep.
So that's it. So they sell jewelry, and that's it. So Rampage was Mr. T, right? So I tell Rampage that you're selling Mr. T starter sets because everybody gets like 4 or 5, gold necklaces and everything, and it's like a Mr. T starter set. I don't know if that's funny to you, but I mean, if Mr. T wore a bunch of gold, so it's like a starter set, Yeah. Western Bear makes. Yeah, there he goes. All me. I don't know. I'm reading the chat.
Oh, my job.
See, chat makes the show. You got that right, Western. You got that right. But we're brand new at this, and this is what I needed. I needed somebody that I could throw ideas, like bounce things off of, right? But I was having it, so I asked Ashe if he would read the stuff because I have a little bit of difficulty reading it, but now I don't really because now it's StreamYard and the background's black and I can read it. But anyways, Ashe was going to read the stuff. We're brand new at it, but 100% Western, 100%. our biggest, craziest moment on this show was because Ashe took a shit and you started talking about it. I think that was it. But going back, we've had some good moments on here, and too bad I had to go through all those stories, and we could have just stayed in the funny stuff. And I thought people were going to come on here trolling from the clown show, and then maybe some of the Moss people would come in, and we're going to have a bunch of trolling. And then I really wanted to say a few things about this submission radio, and as soon as I got done with the story, we moved on to something else, and I didn't get to the part where I was going to start bashing the submission radio for saying that they were going to let us interview them, and then they told us no. And I'm telling Ashe that, yeah, I got him in the bag.
Have you
So for like
interviewed...
10 days goes by, 10 days goes by, and he's going to, we're going to interview him, and then today he told us no. What'd you say, Ashe?
Have you interviewed Kayla Harrison?
No, but she walked around. Here's what goes on, right? So, not everybody, but it depends on if it's in the contract or not. But so all the fighters have to do is like some kind of media. So like people like Submission Radio, they divvy out certain things. Like, let's say almost every fighter has to do 3 interviews. So when I'm there, I get about 3 fighters. Like I get like the medium people, like DDP. Nobody was taking DDP. DDP is like a best friend of mine. You know why? Because I took him. In the early days. I take isn't he on the card this week? O'Day.
Yeah, next week.
O'Day. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I was taking him early on, and so me and him have like a musical connection. Okay, so like outside stuff. I try not to really talk about the fighter stuff and everything like that.
Something weird. Steve Erceg? Steve Erceg?
Yeah.
So he's also in my city, and I was a personal trainer at a gym, and it was so weird. I was driving, and also I used to do boxing. This is all coincidence as well. I don't know why I wound up working around here and training there, but on the same street, my boxing gym was there, where Steve Erceg, his gym is. And I remember I used to see Steve Erceg when I would drive up and down that road. I would see him running up and down the parking lot. It's a really small gym, like really small. And it's just crazy. Small world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's so small. I can hear you from Syria. I can hear you all the way here in the United States right now.
Oh, yeah, Syria. Yes.
That's how small it is. And you know what else besides you know what else besides how crazy it is about being a small world and everything?
What's that?
Western likes the ceiling light gimmick.
He loves it.
That's right. And I remember, I think you told me, don't ever get rid of the ceiling light, right? So yeah. So like I wanted like the Louisiana boxing gym type feel, and how the like if this was boxing right here, and then the microphone the microphone comes down and the lights kind of just barely moving like in the old that was what I had at the beginning. So then I'm mad because I can't go live. There's less than 50 subscribers. I can't go live, and I'm doing videos and everything. And then I put the videos out, and at the beginning, some people it works and everything. And I get this gimmick here and everything. It's not about views, but I'm kind of upset because I know I'm not going to have people see my stuff if it only gets 2 or 3 views, and then like the 2 or 3 views are me. But anyways, one day I just tapped the light, man, and I was like. It wasn't planned. It just happened, I just wanted it to kind of move, and I was gonna do like fight reactions instead of just talking about it. I was gonna kind of like have the fights happen, like sort of mimic what was happening on the TV right here. I thought that was going to be a good idea. So, and I thought the light just moving a little bit like that, right there would work pretty good and look pretty good. But hitting the light is like one of the best things. The light, and ladies and gentlemen, I go in chats and people are like, ladies and gentlemen. At first, I'm like, oh my God, I'm saying it too much, like Western said, right? Western's typing, right?
Keep saying it.
So, yeah, but I mean, it's part of it. Like his Western's buddy told me. And then Western's buddy, musical MMA, he's like, dude, that ladies and gentlemen is perfect, man. He goes, it's like it's it. But yeah, sometimes, man, I must say, in the 2-hour like video, I swear, if I was to count it, it's like close to 500 times. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like walking. I'm like, dude. I'm in like Walmart, right? Getting little SD cards or something. I'm walking around in Walmart, and I'm saying "ladies and gentlemen" out loud. Today I was coming out of this store today, and I was saying "ladies and gentlemen" out loud, and these two people turned around and looked at me like, "Why is this guy saying "ladies and gentlemen"?" All right, so what? Hey, Ashe.
Yeah.
He's making fun of it because he's typing in there and we're not responding to it. And he's like, is this live? That's what I did with Submission Radio, too. I'm like, is this live? This ain't live because they're not responding to anything. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're going to have to keep the slapping light thing, ladies and gentlemen, because Western said so, ladies and gentlemen.
My 60-year-old father subscribed to you. Give him a shout out.
Okay, we certainly will, ladies and gentlemen. So I can't read it. Do I just call him the 60-year-old guy?
Yeah.
So this is Western saying that?
60-year-old father. No, me.
Oh, you?
Yes, me.
Okay, so I thought you were reading the chat. You're not reading his stuff?
No. I said it.
Okay, so I got to say that your 60-year-old father just subscribed to it and put a shout out.
Yeah, he subscribed to you, so you got to give him a shout out.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, listen, a 60-year-old man, the old man of Ashe himself, ladies and gentlemen, just subscribed to the Simon Feck Show, so why don't you, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, if he can do the physical effort, maybe you should too, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell him how his son took a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the brand new Simon Feck subscriber, ladies and gentlemen, his son just took a shit on the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean taking a shit on the show like verbally, I mean physically, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ashe just took a shit on the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. And his old man, the 60-year-old man, just subscribed to Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen.
The sperm
ladies
shooter.
And gentlemen.
The sperm shooter. That's
the
what
sperm
West
shooter.
said.
Okay.
West said.
Okay.
What? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the sperm shooter of Ashe, the producer of the Simon Feck Show, who just took a shit on this. Man, come on, hold on. There's too much. I'm trying to say instead of producer, I'm trying to say producer. And then I'm trying to say that I'm Simon Feck. Hey, Western, I'm doxing my own self. My real name is not Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, our brand new subscriber, the 60-year-old man, ladies and gentlemen, the sperm shooter of the Ashe, ladies and gentlemen, the producer of the Simon Feck Show, who just took a shit on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Man, this thing keeps falling down. I'm trying to keep it away so Western can understand everything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so the other people in the chat, we're trying to do a couple YouTube shorts here, ladies and gentlemen. If you got any ideas, bring them in, ladies and gentlemen. I like the sperm shooter. Let me tell you, Western. Let me try to get this one in. It's not working. I got to say, Ashe is a 60-year-old man. But it sounds like in the United States, me saying it that way, it doesn't sound right. It sounds like that's like people use old man here as like a woman saying about like her husband or boyfriend or whatever, old man, you know. So what? His father. Okay, whatever. All right. I mean, this is tough, but I like it. This is perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, even 60-year-olds are subscribing to the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, the sperm shooter of the producer, Ashe, ladies and gentlemen. His father just subscribed to the channel. All right, thanks, Pops. Yeah, thanks, Pops. Now let me tell you, when we look into, you know, the statistics of the show, it's going to say 1% 60 and over, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The Simon Feck show just matured, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show is becoming more mature by the minute, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a subscriber, a 60-year-old sperm shooter who shot and produced, the producer of the Simon Feck show, the Ashe, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here from Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. And I say, ladies and gentlemen, you know why? Because it annoys Western, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah! Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen. Now that one there to me was gold right
good.
there.
That was perfect.
All right, see? You gotta do it a few times, ladies and gentlemen. Man, and look, from Western, we got some emojis from Western. Good thing you don't put a double eye emoji in there, Western. That got people in trouble over there on the Giuliano, Argentini, weenie, whatever his name is, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, if we ever get lots of views, I hope one time we can do a collab in person. It'd be fucking hilarious.
Okay, yeah, sure. That sounds good. I don't know if I really understood it. Say it again.
Oh, I said, if your channel ever blows up, it'd be cool to do a collaboration, a podcast in person together. It'd be fucking hilarious. Funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, there you go. So, it's looking like, because we got, now this, you got to stick, there's the double eye emoji from Western, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Western is playing with fire in the Simon Feck chat, ladies and gentlemen. He is not only just doing the double eye emoji, we just got the double eye emoji, ladies and gentlemen. And we are tolerating it. Unlike Giuliano, Argentini, or whatever the hell that's fucking. Yeah. Hey, Moss. Look, I can deal with it. Western just put the double eye emoji in here. We're fine with it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so, and then sometimes when you try to do shorts, they just don't come out, but, you know. All right, so what I was going to say is, Ashe, is we found out hold on a second, Western. I want to talk to Ashe here. This is how we're going to work the show out. Sometimes it's going to be live. So, Ashe, we found out that it's probably going to be a tough sell, this whole gimmick here. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to have to work around that a little bit. I think fighters are going to be a little bit better with it. I don't know if any media guys are going to go with it. Not just because the one just did it, but her name is Giuliano. 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 Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Western just did a double eye emoji in my chat, ladies and gentlemen. I'm dealing with it. You hear it, Moss? I could deal with it. That's right. But the old Giuliano, that little woman over there, that little Giuliano or whatever it is, the streetwalker, ladies and gentlemen, the trans himself, ladies and gentlemen, Giuliano, can't deal with it, ladies and gentlemen. Over here at the Simon Feck Show, you could double eye emoji. You could triple double eye emoji over here singly by yourself. See, I mean, they don't all work out, but maybe I cut that So sometimes like that one there, I don't know, it got flat as it went on, and then I cut out the end part, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got? Another thing I didn't do is use the microphone all night long because people don't know if I'm talking or not. Still there,
People
Ash?
forget, man.
People forget, ladies and gentlemen. Motherfucker called me to ask me to urban him from Bodak's chat. Unban him. Yeah. Oh, so he called you. Yeah. So, yeah, I seen, well, I think that was like the clown stuff too going on about some people banning people and later on, but I seen a while back maybe in the musical one about people banning people or whatever, but yeah, I think I was watching that one. Yeah, about the Giuliana. There it is, Giuliana. And then when he finally got on, he said he felt like he was in like purgatory or something like that. Isn't that right? I was watching that show live, I think. Wasn't that it? Mike makes no difference. I didn't know.
Purgatory.
Oh my God! It's a fake mic. Okay, it's a fake mic. But when I first started out, I was thinking when I was watching the videos back, and then I was behind me, I was playing a video, and you couldn't tell if it was me talking or the person behind me talking. So if I put the mic up when I'm talking, they know that this character right here might be talking, and now I'm talking. See what I mean? So that's what the microphone is. It doesn't make me sound any better. I know you can't understand me, Wester, but that's the point of the microphone.
Ladies
and your buddy,
gentlemen.
Musical MMA. Ladies and gentlemen, Musical MMA agreed with me, ladies and gentlemen, that I should carry the microphone, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm talking. Because people can't tell who's talking when I'm talking or whatever like that, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to start streaming.
All right, so
now.
You want to start streaming again?
Yeah, I was doing it before.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So normally, what I do is I write like bullet points. I write like bullet points of things that I'm going to say. But today we went raw, ladies and gentlemen. We raw dog that shit, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So like right now, Ash in Western, right now, I have up on the board. Right now, I got written down right there on the board. Right over here, I have, I don't know, probably 10 sheets of paper written front and back. I probably have about 5 hours of material to bust off right here. But today we're doing a free flow show. And hopefully it's good. I mean, it's our first one. Yeah, so, I mean, it got better at the end. I think us doing serious stories, and it was my fault, but us doing serious stories is not our type of show. Just busting. I mean, we just need to be just crazy and weird or whatever. Right?
Just be ourselves, you mean?
Yeah, like that, yeah. But I don't know. So maybe something's going on here. All right, so but maybe I needed to put those stories out there. I don't know. I mean, tomorrow when I watch back, I can also get rid of them too. It'd be easy to cut out like the whole first section.
You need to. You know what you should do? You need to make a long video. You need to make a long video when you're saying the producer took a shit. That was hilarious. And then make a thumbnail like the producer took a shit or something. I don't know. It was funny.
Well, it's pretty good. And I just looked up the rules again on that about shorts. You know, because like on a video, the monetization, which earlier Western was talking about monetization in the chat. I don't know if we actually addressed it or anything like that. So we got to remember to, you know, about the chat. Okay. But I just looked up the thing about swearing and everything. It's weird. It's like if you swear, like in a long form video, if you swear before the first minute, you usually don't, as far as I know, get monetized. My other channel's monetized, but we don't swear over there, basically.
Oh,
But
that makes sense.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, but the shorts thing, you don't make that much money on shorts anyways. So it doesn't really matter in most cases. But I have a huge viewed short on another channel. Okay, so and that thing, if that was a long form one and it got that attention, I would be making some good serious money. But it's a short, and it doesn't. So, anyways, the shorts, it's weird. You could still sort of be monetized on a short and swear at the beginning, but you can't on the long form. All right, what were you gonna say?
You got you have 7 likes, but do your live streams do you get more view? Do your live streams get more views the longer they're up? Is that normal? Because I see on some of your other streams you have 100 views, 300, or is it? Does that mean at one time when you were live you had 300 viewers? What does that mean?
No, people come in and out, right? Yeah. So the longer you go, they just keep sending people to you or whatever, and they come in. And I heard Giuliano say he I listen to people, and people after a while they say so many things, you know everything. So I wondered how long people would watch the Giuliano streams, and he was telling somebody, and he mentioned that people don't stay longer than 2 minutes with his.
Yeah.
My last stream, people stayed 9 minutes and 37 seconds. But
well, sorry.
All right, but Western says a good one in there. The producer produced shit, so I want to try another short on that one. But remember, like somebody asked me, like Western musical MMA asked me to do a couple videos, and I knew that they weren't gonna attract a lot of viewers, but I did it for musical, right? And it sort of doesn't help your algorithm, okay? But Ashe, when you say it, like some of these things, I know that they're not going to produce as many views as another one. I'm not saying I'm getting a lot of views, but I'm out to do a certain point. And the thing is, I'm filling up. Now, you and I, Ashe, are filling up people's, like when, I don't know what to call it. Let's call it the feed. We are filling up like the Nina Drama. We're in there. A lot of people aren't in that feed. We're in the MMA Guru feed, huge. If you go to MMA Guru and hit the shorts one, and then you go down a little ways, and then all of a sudden it's a whole bunch of Simon Feck. And then if you go to like, I don't know who else. Let's just say like I just started doing Laura Sanko and this and that. And sooner or later, we're gonna fill up all these places. It's gonna hit eventually. Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, you gotta see this vid. Hand me a wrench real quick. Oh my God. I don't know how to do the wrench. And I'm in StreamYard. How do you do the wrench in StreamYard? This is scary. This is scary. Now listen to this, Ashe. Listen to this. So even though I say Musical's a friend of mine, right? So Musical got mad at me because Musical is a friend of Jose Young's. And Jose Young's a.k.a. Sewer King, right? I'm about ready to try to hand a wrench to a guy that is possibly the enemy. And then you hand a wrench to a guy. Next thing you know, we don't have a channel anymore, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna hand a channel to a fucking Western, ladies and gentlemen. But again, so like Western said earlier, and Western's still hanging out here, right? So Western says, stop throwing people's names out there. Well, Jose Youngs is not his real name. That's an alias name. That's Jose Youngs thinks he's going to be a big media guy one day. So early on, Jose Youngs wanted to be famous. So Jose Youngs came up with an alias name right at the get-go, like a lot of rock stars. You know it's going to happen when you get an album. When you get signed to an album, all of a sudden a lot of them change their name right then. But media guys don't think about that. The ones that, because later on, they don't become famous till later on. They're already stuck with the name. But Jose Youngs wanted to be famous right at the beginning. Jose Youngs is not his name. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Oh, fuck. I don't know. So, so he doesn't know. Oh, wait, there's a little button next to you. I don't know if it'll work in here. It says,
ladies and gentlemen,
delete comment.
Just remember, if Simon Feck can get a wife, anyone can get a wife.
you got that right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck's wife really loves it that he dresses up like this, ladies and gentlemen. If you want longevity in your marriage, ladies and gentlemen, just get a costume like this and put it on every night, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, she'll love it. Oh, she loves it, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine that. I mean, she keeps saying, "Hey, Simon Feck," but she doesn't call me Simon Feck. She calls me, big shit turd. But she might she's like, you know what? Why don't you put that on and we'll go over to your friend's house? You know what I mean? It's like, put that stupid costume on. And, and this, why don't you go around out in public and why don't we go to your friends' houses in that stupid, costume or whatever? I know I'm not putting the point across right, but you understand it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Western, I don't really know how to, and then I don't know how. Oh, I know how to do it. Give me a second. I want to do the producer one, and I'll get my other computer out, and I could do it on that. It's right here. I could do it pretty quick. Just hold on a second. Simon
Feck is an industry plant.
Is that what he said?
No. I just made that up.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, even Simon Feck is an industry plant, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard the MMA guru on his live stream the other day saying that people are going around saying that the MMA guru from the get-go was a plant, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA guru was going around with 15, 20 viewers, ladies and gentlemen, and that was all part of the plan. He was a plant. He had to go for years with 15 people watching. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so the MMA Guru the other day. See, I'm a fan of the MMA Guru and a fan of the Sewer King, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm talking to you guys, and I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on a second, and then we'll do the wrench. Give me a second, Western. Hopefully you can stick around. Bro, you got to see this vid. Okay. Where was it at? The producer produced. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the producer of the Simon Feck Show, the producer produced shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ashe, the producer, produced shit on the show today, ladies and gentlemen. Straight in the toilet, ladies and gentlemen. All right, well, that's not good, but I mean, the producer produced shit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show has the best producer in the YouTube land, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck producer, ladies and gentlemen, produced a huge shit, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, no, that ain't that. Dude, I mean, this is a good one. I mean, I know it's a good. Tell me what to do, right?
That's good.
No, it could be a little. It's good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The producer of the industry plant known as Simon Feck just took a shit, ladies and gentlemen.
The producer. Oh man, I mean, I just
You're
had it. I
thinking
thought I
too
had
much.
it. The
Stop
producer
thinking,
produced.
just go. Be present. Just go.
Yeah, I know it. Right.
Let it come.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show, the producer just produced shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what we were looking for, ladies and gentlemen. We needed somebody to produce shit, and that's what we got, ladies and gentlemen. The producer of the Simon Feck Show produces shit, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. See, God damn it. Dude, it's right there. Where is it? It's right there. Where is it? The producer produced shit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show is looking for a producer, and we found one, ladies and gentlemen. The producer produced shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, he did his job, ladies and gentlemen. He laid a turd right in the toilet in the middle of the debut show, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right, ladies and gentlemen. This show produces shit, says Western, ladies and gentlemen. Western's correct on that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that one was good, right? You know?
That was good.
That one was pretty good. All right, give me a second, Western. Dude, Western, make sure you're not putting, like penises up or anything like that. I know you won't, but the stream is going to end in 2 seconds, and I'm going to be hitting the erase button as soon as I can if I see that.
Ladies and
so there was this guy. His name's Woe Black Betty. Okay, Ash. His name's Woe Black Betty, and I go on a musical MMA stream, and the guy goes, Simon Feck's out, doxing people. Okay, but there's like these English people, and I know you're from Syria, and but English people, that it's a real serious thing, right? So it's like here, it's not. It's like if people just know my name, they know exactly where I live or whatever, So it's like I don't know how to say it or whatever, but Woe Black Betty didn't understand that Jose Youngs is not his name. It's like saying, I don't know, pick most movie stars. That's not their real name. It's an alias. Jose Youngs is actually an alias of a guy that does the Super King. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Okay, so I'm going to take my glove off because this doesn't work unless I have a mouse. And then, hold on a second. Now it's getting ready to go to, hey, Ash.
Yeah.
Go ahead and see if you could take over the show or whatever. If you want to call this a show. But let me tell you something. Now we're running 5 deep right now. Ladies and gentlemen.
Shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're running, the Simon Feck Show is running at a high of viewers right now, ladies and gentlemen. They just went from 5 to 4, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're down to 4, ladies and gentlemen. We just did a record high, 5 high, ladies and gentlemen.
And I just took a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just tuned into the shit show, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell
Literally,
the new
ladies
viewers what happened in the middle of the show.
You tell them. I'm trying to get
ladies and gentlemen,
Western,
I'm the producer, and I just took a shit in our debut in the middle of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Show. Wait. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show is getting shittier at the moment. Okay, so I'm almost there. Oh, there it is. I'm getting there. Okay, here's the live thing. And then, wow, I can see myself. Ladies and gentlemen, Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to give the wrench to somebody. Listen, Western, if you're on the clown show and you ask for the wrench, you have to say, may I get the wrench? You know, clown would be all over you, Western. That's it.
Yeah.
It's weird. Okay, there's the chat. There's Western. So I go like this, and it says channel activity. Go to channel, pin, report, remove. How do you give a wrench to somebody? There's somebody out there in our man, we're maintaining 4 viewers longer than 1 minute right now, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody out there know how to?
This is the best shit I ever took, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God. All right. Does anybody know how to do the wrench thing?
I have no idea. I don't know. What are you talking about?
Okay, so in the chat, there's a thing called a moderator.
Oh, yeah.
And when you...
Yeah.
Okay, so the moderator, like kicks trolls out and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
People forget. Man.
Listen, Western. If I had a producer, but it's unfair because the producer's actually, live.
Oh, I made a mistake.
He's a character right now.
I thought you said producer. I'm a producer, not a producer. I take shit.
Yeah, producer.
I come into the middle of debut shows and I take a shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, add as moderator. Standard moderator? Hold on a second. Managing
I think West
moderator?
is getting angry at me.
Can manage blocked words, change chat modes and live. So there's a managing moderator and a standard moderator. Can review and remove chat messages. Standard works. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck Show just acquired its first wrench, ladies and gentlemen. That goes out to Western. That's going to be part of trivia. That's going to be part of MMA trivia. Bodak's going to have that on his next trivia, ladies and gentlemen. Bodak comes into these streams and my videos, and then he punches in, his name to see if we've been talking about him. Bodak, on your next quiz, make sure you have the question, who was the first wrench given to on the Simon Feck Show? Western, ladies and gentlemen.
I just took a shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Gotta be kidding me, man. Okay, so let's see what Western's going to do. Pretty soon it's going to say we don't have a channel anymore.
Why?
I don't know.
Because I took a shit.
I'm just kidding. No. But anyways, he said he's going to show a video. So what are you going to do? You got to come on? You got to come on to show the video? How are you going to show the video?
He linked it.
Hey, Ashe, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hang on. I'll look in just a second. I'm busy taking a shit.
Okay, see, my chat stopped. I missed all this. Oh, I went back. Okay. I promised it ain't going to fuck you up. Okay. All right. I'm just playing around. Actually, I didn't really want to say it, but, like his buddy Musical asked me to do a couple videos, so Musical's getting ready to come out with a video here real soon, and I think there's going to be a cameo. I'm not really sure, but I think there's going to be a cameo of Simon Feck in it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not allowed to be a spoiler. You know what I'm saying? Review that. Oh, okay. What's this? Oh, you know what? See, that's another thing too, dude. Listen to me, Ashe.
Yes.
You know what I forgot this whole time? I forgot to put up Western's comments the whole time. They're supposed to be up there. Like when I was doing like all the shorts. When I'm doing a short, I want the people's comments up there. I messed up. I should have been doing all that. I did it. Yeah, right. I'm new, right? So I did it on the last one, and I forgot this one. Mainly because I was in a conversation with the submission radio guy, which I'm going to get that. If that submission radio guy doesn't come on and get interviewed, you're right. He's a target. All right, so I don't know how I review this.
I want to join his podcast.
We're learning together, boys. That's right, Western. What'd you say, Ashe?
I'm going to join his podcast and take his shit. Maybe that'll be my stick. That'll be my stick. I go into interviews and I take a shit.
Your stick is you're the shit man. Oh God! But you're right, Western. We're learning together. That's right. So, but here's the thing. Like I see it here. And watch this, but you can't click on it, right? Oh, now I just went big screen. Did your guys think that? Man, now I don't know how to get back.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just tuned into the shit show, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know what happened, but a lot of things happened.
You took a shit.
Are you still there? Yeah, so I clicked on the thing, and then as far as I know, I got kicked out.
That's weird.
I'm like the clown show live. He keeps getting kicked out of his thing. I think I just got kicked out of my own show. Listen, Western, I don't know how do I play this thing? Or just play it on your phone. Okay. I don't know. How about this? So what I'll do is, Western, the next show I'm gonna have like a little bit of like bullet points or whatever. I don't know. I mean, we did pretty good here at the end. But also I could download this thing and I could play it over the screen or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, review that. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the producer just took a shit on the show, ladies and gentlemen. And Western says review that, ladies and gentlemen. You still there, Ashe?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm taking a shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this show is getting shittier by the minute, ladies and gentlemen. The debut show of the Simon Feck and the Ashe show, ladies and gentlemen. The producer just took a shit, ladies and gentlemen. Right in the middle of the show, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck producer is producing shit, ladies and gentlemen. And that statement came from Western, ladies and gentlemen. I must throw out the credit, ladies and gentlemen. What? Oh, I thought I thought you needed the space to talk there. But anyways, I just did the Western thing, and I did it good. That one worked. The producer producing shit. And it flowed in that one. That one worked. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Western just says that we're learning together, ladies and gentlemen. One thing we're learning to do is produce. Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, Western says that we're learning together, ladies and gentlemen. And today on the Simon Feck and the Ashe show, ladies and gentlemen, we're learning how to produce shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Our producer just took a shit in the middle of the show, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what this has got to do with MMA, ladies and gentlemen, but trust me, ladies and gentlemen, every fighter on the planet takes a shit, ladies and gentlemen, so it does have something to do with fighting, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. People coming in saying that the Simon Feck show has nothing to do with MMA, but ladies and gentlemen, every fighter takes a shit every now and again, ladies and gentlemen. Some of them do it in the cage, ladies and gentlemen. Some of them do it on the toilet, ladies and gentlemen. Some of them do it in an interview, ladies and gentlemen. Some of them do it in their private life, ladies and gentlemen. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The Simon Feck show knows how to produce shit, ladies and gentlemen. And the number one contributor is the producer, ladies and gentlemen. The producer produces shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Now, that one was pretty good, but I stuttered one time in the middle.
Nothing
The
is perfect.
Simon Feck... Huh?
Nothing is perfect.
Yeah, there you go. And listen, we're trying to perfect shit on the show, right? I mean, we're talking about doing shit, perfection shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're almost reached back up to the height of the Simon Feck show. Ladies and gentlemen, just earlier today, not everybody was in here then, but earlier today, we reached a record high of 5 concurrent viewers, ladies and gentlemen. Back earlier in the stream, ladies and gentlemen, when Ashe was taking a shit, ladies and gentlemen, in the middle of the debut show, ladies and gentlemen, Ashe was taking a shit. We were only at 2 concurrent viewers, ladies and gentlemen.
Taking a shit, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
wish Ashe would take a shit. Ashe, you need to start taking a shit at our peak. I mean, when we, you know what I'm saying? We just ruined the best content on 2 viewers when we could be doing it right now with 4 viewers, ladies and gentlemen. That's right.
I'm afraid to take a
Ladies
shit,
and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show has I can't even talk, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show has the best producer in YouTube land, ladies and gentlemen. The Simon Feck producer produces shit. I gotta stop saying ladies and gentlemen. Or just play it on your phone. Oh man, I'm like, wait. Tattoo's gonna give you away, Fecker. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. So far, the Feck man has invaded the doxing, ladies and gentlemen. If you were to see his 0 tattoos, that's right. If you were to identify one of the 0 tattoos that the Feck man has, I don't know. I mean, right then I should be going on something like I don't know. I mean, you're the greatest detective on the planet because the Feck man doesn't have any tattoos. So. Okay, so Fecker. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody out there in Feckland, ladies and gentlemen. Anybody have any ideas for some shorts, ladies and gentlemen?
I need to
Go
shit
ahead
my
and put them in the
pants,
chat, ladies and
gentlemen.
gentlemen.
I'm a fucking
I'm telling you, man,
large.
if this... Yeah, a big fat tub of lard. If this isn't a shitty show, I don't know what is, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's what we've come down to. The content on the Simon Feck show is nothing but a bunch of shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And Simon Feck sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm telling you. The clown was in the studio last week, and he kept saying Simon Feck sucks balls. I'm telling you, the clown will never, ever come into my studio ever again, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a degenerate.
The clown's saying that the Simon Feck show ain't nothing but a bunch of shit. Well, our producer's producing the shit, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, clown. Hey, clown.
Yeah.
I got to come up with something like, shitting on the clown or whatever. Watch that vid. This has been great, shitty fun. I'll be back. All right, man. I appreciate it, Western. You gave us some great material. I appreciate it, buddy. We'll definitely watch the vid. That's right. So over here we got Nita Drama. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. No, she's out of the picture. There she is. Right here you got Nita Drama. Right here. Yeah, Big Ben Rothwell, ladies and gentlemen. Right here you got Moss. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Moss from the MMA-holes right here, ladies and gentlemen. Right here looking over. Right here, looking up, we got the clown.
Wes said, I appreciate you guys.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot there, Western. I thought you were gonna end the stream, just lit and smoke the... What did he say?
Hey?
I know what he was... I know what he...
What? Hey?
Okay, I know what he was talking about, like the tattoos and everything, because I got this arm up and this thing. Stupid thing keeps coming down. But anyways, I was in the middle of going around the room. You hear me, Ash?
Yes.
All right, so let me go around the room for a second. You know why I do this, right?
No.
Okay, so when you finally get monetized, they have an actual person. There's like no actual person unless you get in like certain trouble. There's no actual human looking into this channel. When you get monetized, they have an actual person look into your channel, and they look around in your channel. And if you're like, there's a guy named Anakin. Anakin puts a lot of hashtags and stuff in there, and you can't put like people's names and stuff in there if they're not in the video, if they're not talked about. Okay? So there's like, if people over hashtag and they finally went through all the thing and got the 4,000 hours and the 1,000 viewers and everything, if they're an over hashtagger, they just delete the channel.
What?
Yeah. Trust me on this. I know this. I know a guy who went through the whole thing, and he was an over hashtagger.
What is that?
I can't go around.
What?
I can't go. Listen, You can't go around and just put Joe Rogan hashtags without having anything talking about Joe Rogan, right? Okay. So I have all this stuff up here in case I don't talk about enough big names, and then I changed some stuff. So I got Big Ben Rothwell here, which is a BKFC guy, and then I got Nina Drama right here, and I got Bryce Mitchell right here because she's interviewed him a few times. Right here, this guy recently has been Brian Battle. This is Andrew Glenn. It doesn't really matter. Mickey Gall, a good friend of mine right here. Moss, not so. Here's the Sewer King. And then this guy right here is a rich guy that's going to be hanging around our show soon. This is Derek Bunnyberg right here. But right over here, he's out of the picture over here is Joe Rogan. But like a lot of times I have big names in here. I put them all away. I put Joe Rogan away. I put Daniel Cormier, John Anik, and I would have big names up here. And during the middle of each video I do a thing. It's called Going Around the Room. So I talk about Nina Drama. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nina Drama talking showerhead, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so then now I can legally put her name in there, and it's searchable. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So I was going around the room, and then he started talking, but I mean, we're learning all this stuff together, right? But
Yes,
now
sir.
I've already said everybody's name. So, and then this one's a little bit different because in the description I put a lot of people in there because we're looking for not a co-host, we're looking for a co-host. So I put a lot of people's names in it. This is a rare one that I put them in that we're not actually talking about. But they'll let you get away with certain ones. But if you keep doing stuff over and over and over again, where you put people's names in there and you haven't talked about them or shown a video of them or anything like that, they'll get rid of you because you got all your views just putting like 800 people's names in every video.
Whoa.
So that's weird. I don't know. I just got kicked out. It must be StreamYard. I guess I got to find a different one because StreamYard keeps kicking the clown show out of his thing too. I'm just sitting there talking. I didn't touch anything and I got kicked out. It's weird. I listened to the clown show and he keeps talking about that all the time where he gets kicked out. And I'm like, how do you get kicked out? You know?
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So we got 4 deep in here, ladies and gentlemen. So earlier today we talked about Sewer King and Jose Youngs and Submission Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Might as well spill the beans right now, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Simon Feck show just got turned down by Submission Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that? Submission Radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, fuck Submission Radio.
The next time, I'm not going to tell you when, but the next time I walk into Apex, I'm going to go up to the 2 girls and the 1 guy that divvy out the fighters. And I'm going to tell them to stop divvying them out so well to the Submission Radio. You hear me, Dennis? Dennis, Simon Feck. Listen to me, Dennis. Simon Feck is going to talk. See, you're way over there in Australia, in Melbourne. You listening to me, Dennis? I'm going to walk right up to Chris in the Apex, and I'm going to tell Chris to stop feeding you fighters. It might not happen right away, Dennis. But let me tell you something. I don't know if you're like me. I get 3 fighters a week. You might get 2, but every once in a while it might be 1. They're going to say it was like a little fluke. and then you'll be down to 1. Oh, they're only giving me 1, and then it might be 0. Listen to me. Don't mess with Simon Feck. I'm gonna talk to Chris face to face. You can't do that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Dennis, from Submission Radio.
Fucking
Listen,
nerd.
do you know why this stream has yellow in it right now? I just stole your color scheme, Dennis. Simon Feck just stole your color scheme. You hear me, Dennis? You just cut your fighter interviews in half. Wait till I talk to Chris. Now, see, a lot. Now, listen to me, Ashe. A lot of people wouldn't. I bet you the Sewer King knows who Chris is. Ashe, you watch the UFC fights all the time, right? I guarantee you don't know who Chris is, right? See,
No.
because you're not. You know, that's not the thing. You're not there. You're not like on the inside like the Sewer King. I guarantee you the Sewer King knows who Chris is. Definitely Dennis knows who he is. But your average person, you could know every move there is about fighting, and you could know every fighter there is and everybody's stats and everything like that. But only a few people, like a small amount of people, will know who Chris is. Chris used to work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Remember I was telling some stories earlier today, Ashe, talking about me going into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, see? You remember me talking about going into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium, right? Now, Chris used to work. He works for the WWE. He works for the UFC. That was a complete accident. He works for the UFC. But he used to work for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, how would I know all this stuff? So you listening to me, Dennis? Dennis, you come on my show or else. You hear me? That's right. Dennis thought I was a peon, and he treated me like a fucking peon today. Okay? And I tried telling him, I said, listen, dude, I talked to you. At the New York City, the Madison Square Garden one. He's only been to 2 UFC fights in, United States. And I didn't even tell him I was at the other one, and I talked to him at the other one. But I was just bringing up the New York City one because certain things happened where I was going to be able to say, hey, remember this happened? Remember John Morgan? A bunch of people came up to John Morgan and started asking John Morgan for, to get pictures taken with him. And not one other media person was asked to get their picture taken with these fans. Not even Jose Young's the Sewer King. The Sewer King, nobody asked for his picture. But I guarantee you, Dennis from Submission Radio remembers that. So, listen. Hold on. I'm sorry, Ashe. Now I'm starting to act like the clown. But I'm telling you right now, dude, Simon Feck is not a scab. All right, what were you going to say?
Cheeto Vera is fighting Ariel Helwani.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Did you see the fight? It just got announced 6 hours ago.
No.
Cheeto Vera versus Zahabi.
I don't know anything about all that.
Yeah. Well, that's MMA. We don't talk about MMA on this MMA channel.
What's up with the lurkers? Pipe up, y'all. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're one viewer away from the earlier record set today on the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. We had 5 concurrent viewers, ladies and gentlemen. World record set earlier today on the Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. We're sitting at a comfort 4 concurrent viewers, ladies and gentlemen. We want to take an appreciation moment right here, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to appreciate Western, ladies and gentlemen. Western's been a major part of this show, ladies and gentlemen, for I can't even tell you how long, ladies and gentlemen. Probably like, I don't know, 3 hours and 19 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Western has another. And ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time ever on the Simon Feck and the Ashe show, we've had a moderator on here, somebody with a wrench, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's right. The very first time. This is our debut show, too, I might add, ladies and gentlemen.
A monkey with a wrench.
He's a monkey with a wrench. What's it say? Isn't Casper ill? Haven't watched Submission Radio in a good while. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, all right. So, yeah, let me put that up. Yeah, so I don't know about that, Western, talking about him being ill. So I just watched the video. It was about a year ago, and he had to leave the show, and he did mention something about his health. And, yeah, unfortunate. I believe he does have health issues. And I guess here at the Simon Feck show, I mean, we wish him the best. I didn't really start watching the submission show until somebody did a $1 bet with me about the MMA Guru. You know, could not make it through the 2025 season. So I started watching all these people. I was involved inside the Apex. And I was so involved in all that stuff. And I got some great stories, too, one day to tell about all that stuff. But, yeah, I guess it's just Dennis himself.
You were the Iceman. You got the ice for the fighters.
The Iceman? The what?
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 Ladies and gentlemen, I'm having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
My IQ is
dropping. Yeah, so I'm...
Sorry.
Yeah, that's true, too. So, I mean, I'm not used to having... now I got these earplugs in my ears, right? And, you know, and I got all this crap on, right? And I'm starting to get used to it. I mean, this is only the second time, and the other couple times when we went on me and you went on the Moss, the MMA-holes show and everything, the thing was echoing so bad I couldn't keep track of nothing. But anyways, I mean, I'm getting used to this here. But anyways, yeah, he's not on the show anymore. So I really don't know the show with him. We were doing some study, Western. We were doing some study on him. Because Dennis said he would definitely come on the Simon Feck show. And Ashe brought up about 22 great questions to ask him. And it was all good for about 2 weeks. And then Submission Radio seen the Simon Feck show, and then he said, no, he's not coming on. Oh, boy. Yeah, he said, you know, he appreciates everything. He thinks, you know, we got something very unique. Of course it's unique. I mean, I hear it every day. Hey, you'd get more views if we could understand you. All right, so another thing, too, Western. I'm going to go and get one of those, because part of the bet was I was going to do everything kind of raw, and but I'm going to go ahead and get a voice changer just like the Sewer King's got. I think it does like a lot of bass to it and everything, and you can tell what people are saying. I'm going to get one of those. Why not reduce the guys to a bandana and goggles?
Mr. Feck,
the skies, yeah.
I might have to go now.
Okay. But you gonna go produce some more turds in the toilet?
Yeah. Oh, I'll see you later. It was good streaming.
Okay. Yeah, and so guess what?
What?
All right, buddy. Yeah, we started getting in a rhythm later on. I gotta watch myself with the long stories in the future. And Western, guess what? I'm
Have
gonna
fun.
duck out too. I mean, where I'm at. All right, buddy. You too. Take care. See you, man. So it's like 1:30 in the morning, right? No, I mean, I could stay up forever, but I might be keeping other people up around here because this thing is where I'm at. It's like right next to a wall where somebody's sleeping. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure I created on today's show, if you go back some of the earlier stories, I'm sure I created something that's going to cause a few stirs in the MMA world, ladies and gentlemen. And I appreciate everybody being here. And I appreciate Mr. Western himself, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's another thing, too, right here, Western. I was thinking about putting tape on this, but then I got to unplug it and plug it over there and everything like that. But, yeah, hitting it every once in a while. I turn the light off. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first freestyle Simon Feck live stream. I don't know. So when I get done with everything I do, videos or live stream, I always think it was like, a big pile of shit. There's a bunch of good stuff on this live stream, I believe. But it would take a lot of hours of editing to bring it to be something good. So I might just leave it just the way it is. But anyways, I prefer to write down, like bullet points and everything and just keep going and keep going. But my buddy Ashe that just left, Ashe was supposed to be reading, the comments. But we're new at it. We'll get it. See you next time. That's right. See you next time, Western. Appreciate it, buddy. Glad to be part of the maiden voyage. That's right. That's right. You can never have a second maiden voyage. I mean, you can have another voyage, but you can't have another maiden voyage again, right? All right, so that was it. If I don't have anything written down, I definitely need like a second person, and I need people typing in. That was great. We got some great stuff, Western. I don't know how to end it, but I'm going to end it, ladies and gentlemen. And trust me, I put out a lot of stuff at the beginning of this video that's going to stir some people up. But the fun part was like the second half, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck, 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen.